expose you.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scares here, and so from now on, I'm going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories!
Expose, 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 expose. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you. Expose, 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 expose. It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Expose. 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 Exposed. Exposed. Hashtag drama alert. There's news to expose. Hashtag breaking. SS Sniper Wolf has a vagina. More on that at 11. Vagina. Hey guys, this is Scarce here. Lots of news today. Lots of exposure. And double upload. Expose. 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 You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scares here, and so from now on, I'm going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories!
Expose, 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 expose. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you. Expose. 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 It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Expose. 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 There's news to expose. Hashtag breaking SS Sniper Wolf has a vagina. More on that at 11. Vaginas. Hey guys, it's Scarce here. Lots of news today, lots of exposure. And double uploads. Expose, 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 expose. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here. So from now on, I am going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories.
Expose, 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 expose.
Speak up here. No, I didn't speak in here.
Expose, 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 expose. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God.
There's a lot of love in the air tonight.
Expose.
Love.
Expose. 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 Expose.
Say it with me now, Bird. Love.
Expose. Expose.
What an unnecessarily fucked day. Don't worry, I'm not going to be complaining too much in the stream. I'll start off with the Super Chat Cherry Popper, though. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Apple delaying most of iOS 15's headline features. They just called delayed iOS 15 itself. I hope it's not full of bugs, which means it probably will be if they're delaying a bunch of features. It means they were behind, and they just wanted to get it into your holes. How is everybody today? Hey, Rich, you had a chance to take a look into the Wargaming and World of I have not. The situation looks to be on fire. Wargaming continually advertises loot box to children. Time to expose them. Please send me an article. It has been hell today. It was an all-day fucking event. It was an absolute nightmare today. I don't know what the hell was going on with YouTube. I don't know if anything was going on with YouTube. I don't know if I just had an unlucky day, but it was shit. Fox ate my dinner. Thank you for becoming a member. Hello, dear. Yes, I will review your product. And yes, even though it's illegal to do in the States, I will take $2,000 from you to review it. I'm kidding. But yes, that's what they say. Hello, dear. We want you to review our product. We'll pay you $2,000 to review it. Then that's not a review then. That's you paying me. Oh, well, can you review our blow dryer anyway? No. No one will give a fuck about your blow dryer on my channel. I am a bald man. Why the fuck would I review your blow dryer? What am I going to do? Blow dry my ass hair? Am I going to blow dry my fucking ass hair? Yes, maybe I am. I just made the bird unstable. So, I don't know. The first video I had out today, which was actually the second video you guys saw, was the video about Austin Evans, and everyone's like, Rich, did you see that Austin Evans was getting roasted by Digital Foundry? And I'm like, no, he wasn't. They said it was an excellent video. They said that, you know, they're going to look into it more. They didn't roast him. There was no roasting. That's why I had roasting in quotes. Here, I guess a lot of people don't understand this, maybe because I have an audience around the world. I don't know. Or maybe grammar. So when you put quotes around something, it usually means that it's the opposite meaning of the word. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I should fix it. I don't know. Maybe I got to realize that a lot of people don't understand that. But no, I was telling you, and I even said in the thumbnail, take a guess, like trying to make it as obvious as possible that they were not roasting Austin Evans. My jaw's hitting the ground. Can confirm iOS 15 is very buggy with public betas. It's clearly not ready and should have been delayed. I don't understand. Why do they rush, especially an operating system? Like, if everyone's happy with iOS 14, what the fuck would you... Why would you... I don't know. Is there anyone chomping at the bit that they can't wait for the next operating system update? Decaf coffee, by the way. It's actually pretty good. Folgers Crystals. Decaf. Anyway. So I'm going to look into that. I'll probably make a video on that tomorrow. Hello, dear. So, yeah, iOS 15 is a fucking train wreck, man.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
There is the OS update. So I actually finally stepped my toe into the YouTube Shorts. I was excited to show it. I knew people were going to have an issue with I have long cables all over the place, but I'll explain it more in detail now. Matter of fact, let's show the video. It's short. It's literally a YouTube short. Like, it's as short as you can get. Just like my penis. Okay. Let me open up the YouTube tab here. Review, Nips USA. There it is. Man, that does look like a video from 2009. Holy shit. Anyway. Let me, my jaw's hitting my ass. Let me, grab this for you. Austin looking like a snack over there. What's funny is Apple's done it before. I guess, I don't know. I don't understand why people rush out unfinished products in the tech industry. It just baffles me. Yes, it is 15 cents.
Cable management.
Oh, God, Rich, you're loud. But I had to... This is like the 30th take I did of this. Now, you're going to see the cable management. It looks like it's shit, but I purposely got all long wires to make everything there unbreakable, basically, is what my intention was. Man, dude, I filmed this on the back camera of an iPhone. What is the resolution? It only does up to 720p. It looks like I filmed it with my camera from 2009. Someone's right. What the hell are you doing, YouTube? Anyway.
Cable management be damned. I purposely picked long wires. We have a 4K switch box.
Notice that a lot of people are saying, Rich, you're going to get so much dust in there. This is a fresh piece of tile that I purposely bought to put computer hardware on. That the digital edition and the Series S are both on. On top of it, I just vacuumed that rug under there too. And that heating back there, I don't have on. I have a heat pump that I have throughout my side of the house. So that you don't have to worry about the heat issues there. You don't have to worry about dust here. And this is a HDMI 2.0 switch, because a lot of people ask that, but the projector I have is 720p, so who gives a shit? But let's continue.
Xbox Series S, PlayStation 5 Digital Edition.
There's that snake of cables back there, because I bought like 30 feet long cables to trip-proof. I did it as a safety measure for my children and a safety measure for the equipment, because I could bunch all the cables up. They're not actually like just thrown there. They're actually more organized than they look, if that makes any sense. But it's to keep that no one can trip over it and no equipment can get damaged. And yes, I don't know what YouTube Shorts does, but it was filmed with the iPhone 12. I don't. They like stop all stabilization. They stop everything. It's very strange. I don't know. I'm learning. I'm a boomer, man. I'm learning this whole YouTube Shorts thing. So it turns out Windows won't prevent a threadable rig or older CPUs from running what they just say. Use it at your own risk. Yeah, but they're still putting that seed in your brain that it's dangerous, even though it's really fucking not. Anyway, let's continue.
And an RT.
That's that Razer Turret PC. Now that you could see it clearer and doesn't look like I'm filming with a ApeTech camera from 2007. That has the Intel NUC, the 8-core 16-thread processor in there. Which one exactly, I don't know. 32 gigs of RAM, has a 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD, and I have a 4 terabyte SSD from Samsung in there. Wish I could explain this all, but 15 seconds. I wish they made them 30 seconds. I guess maybe because I haven't done that many. It's 15 for me. Maybe I have to prove. Yes, we're going to talk about it tonight. But anyway.
TX30.
There I have the charging cables down there. You're going to see my... This actually, I didn't even talk about the fan, but I'm going to flex the fan right now. I have a Vornado fan there, and I fucking love that thing.
80 Razer gaming PC being snaked.
And it's me, and there's the Vornado fan.
To an Anchor Nebula Capsule 2 projector. This is how I game.
Now, a lot of people said that looks small. That's because I guess the camera perspective, that's actually like 80 inches on the ceiling. That's actually like 80 inches. And it looks, I don't care it's only 720p, man. It looks fucking awesome. So Neil, yeah, I heard about it, and he's taking ivermectin. Any plan to take direct tips via PayPal as well? Yes. I'm going to work on that tomorrow. No, not at all. Because I'm laying in bed, bro. It's not that I'm like this. I'm just laying back. There's zero stress on my neck. I have a pillow behind me. I guess maybe that. But even if you laid flat the way it is, you don't. It's weird because, like, looking at this now, my camera's kind of fucking up how it looks. Like, it's not as angled as that. It's bigger than that. And you could just stare straight up. Yeah, I get why people are saying it. Kind of fucking makes it look all out of sorts. But yeah, it's awesome, man. I was thinking I would actually buy it. I was thinking of that Mars, the 4K. It has HDR10, all that shit. Nebula. But the thing is, they don't have anything to put it vertical. The Nebula capsule too, you could just put on a tripod and put vertical, but it does look good. Like I don't look at that. Like all the text is perfectly readable. Everything looks clear. I'm like, oh man, it's only 720p. That sucks. And the thing is, especially for that gaming PC with a 3080 in it, you could max out everything. Ray tracing, anti-aliasing, textures, lighting, you name it. It's 720p. The 3080 is like, you got something for me? What's up, man? The fuck? What do you have me like? It's like, if anything, I think that Intel processor, even though it's 8-core, 16 threads, if anything, that's probably more of a bottleneck than the 3080 is, because it's just like when you run benchmarks on it at 720p, it's like it has like an infinity symbol for the FPS. Temps are fine. Temps are like 70s for both. Well, I haven't. I should run AIDA64 on the like the CPU side and check that, but the GPU is fine. I've read that it runs at like it wasn't near the thermal threshold of the RTX. That's the Founders Edition. So there's actually a lot of breathing room in the case. Surprisingly. And what I've heard, you can put a 3090 in there, but it doesn't support it, so I wouldn't do it, because if you put a 3090 in, I guess if something happens and you're like, hey, Razer, can you fit? Yeah, we can't fix it for you. Told you not to put a 3090 in there. But that setup is pretty badass, man. I love it. I think it's... Apparently, I just found a NASCAR on Craigslist. Yes. Land a Killer, that is the best way to get a hold of me, is to DM me on Twitter. And I could check them after the stream. Smack your ass, Terrence. What is your name? Guthami? Is your name Guthami? Or Galthami? So, it's pretty awesome. It's awesome to watch YouTube videos, too. I also have, and I couldn't... What I'll probably do is tidy up the cables. I mean, I kind of made a video on this already, but not like this. I think it's worthy to make another one because it's just interesting. What I'll do is tidy up the cables. I also have a Razer Turret, I think it is, the keyboard. Maybe I fucked up the names, and it's like, oh, it's the Tomahawk. My computer is the Tomahawk. I said Turret. Fuck. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. The Tomahawk is the computer. I have the Turret keyboard. And that's pretty badass too, because it has like a mouse pad for a regular mouse, and it has a regular mouse, but the mouse pad's slightly magnetic, so so the mouse doesn't flop all over the place. So you could actually, and I've done it already, you could play mouse and keyboard games in bed. I actually played Fear that way. It was pretty funny. It was actually enjoyable. So Rich is the cure to erectile dysfunction. Whoa! So, it's cool, man. I mean, am I saying for everyone to run out and get this? No. Am I shilling for anything? Absolutely not. And I was sent a review unit, but I actually, what's funny is, I bought the Nebula capsule too. The Nebula came to me saying they wanted to send me the Star Wars version. So I was already sold on it and I bought it with my own money. So... what is a good cheap TV for a Series S? If anything, I think at that point, if you're looking for You're better off getting like a 1080p 120 hertz monitor. I got a job surprising from the place that eliminated my previous, so to celebrate took a dump on the floor. Please tell a pitch-choo-choo fart. What? I'll give you a...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that failed miserably. So I could give you a link to it. I'll give you a non-affiliate. I mean, when I have the video on this, I'll put affiliate links. I'm not a... believe me, I am pro affiliate links. Let me find it. Amazon. Oh, shit, that's not... You go here. Horses, horses, horses. Horse.com. Imagine they had a electronic shopping store called horse.com. They should do that. That'd actually be pretty, Yes, I know, and so is Joe Rogan. I know. Dude, Peter is here. Bazinga, what's going on? What job did you get, Google Fish? Nebula Capsule 2. Here it is. Do not get the original one. Do not get and don't get the Max either. Get the 2. Do not get the Max. Get the original capsule is a piece of shit. Ooh, did I say that? Why is one cheaper than the other one? And they're both the same. Why? Okay, this is actually a really good deal for. It's usually almost $600. Can I put this link here? See if this link works. Does it work? Tell me if it works. You don't have to buy the thing. Just go see it, like, if you want to. So there's that. I want to get the... I love how someone tries to bundle it with the gamepad. Like, 1080p. This is the one I want to get. I'll show it to you. The 4K one. It's $1,600. But the problem with it is I can't shoot it at the ceiling. I mean, I'm sure it would work fine going vertical, but there's no stand to make it vertical. If they made a stand that made it vertical, yo, I would be all over this thing, man. Having a 4K 60. Yeah, I don't know what happened with him, man. It's like he moved to Texas and he lost his fucking mind. Bazinga and Nia, I don't get what the fuck is going on with him. Like, but I'll show you this one too. I'm gonna try to get in. And Anchor, if you see this, I'll buy the fucking thing. I'm not looking for you to I'm not looking for, like, hey guys, can you hook me up? No, I'm not doing that. Like, I want to know if I can. I'm pretty sure I can put it vertically and it won't cause any damage. I just want to know if there's a way, because it's oval. Let me show it to you. My grandma also told me, tell your grandma I said hello, Sergeant Jason Bond. I think it's awesome that she says hello to me. It's so fucking cool. Here, I'll show it to you instead of me. This is the Anchor Nebula Mars. What the heck? Cosmos Max. And it's nice, man. It's not, I mean, it's not 120. That's the other thing too. But I hear nothing but good things about it. I mean, yeah, it has... Where is the tripod for it, though? Like, why are they showing... Yeah, see, everyone has it on a table. I wish they showed all around this thing. But that would be badass if I could shoot that up at the ceiling. That would be really sick. But I don't think you could hold it vertically. Or better, again, let me rephrase. There's no stand to hold it vertically. So, anyway, I'm going to shut up now. What makes Nebula better than other projectors? I don't know. I'm not even going to... All I know is that what I like about the Nebula Capsule 2 is that it's a completely standalone smart TV, literally, that you could almost... You can't, but it's the size of a little bit bigger than a soda can. And it's flexible too. You could actually put it on a tripod and shoot it up at a ceiling if you have a flat ceiling. You can't do that with other projectors. Even Anchor's own projectors, you can't do that with. It on top of it too, it has Android TV built into it. It uses regular Android TV apps. It has laser autofocus, which 90% of the time works awesome. And if you need to reset the adjustment, all you have to do is just hold the HDMI button down for, I think, 3 seconds, and it just fixes it. And on top of it, too, hello, Mari, how are you? On top of it, too, the latency is very, very low for a projector. For a projector is the key fucking word. Don't buy it and thinking that you're going to be like a fucking major league gamer with Call of Duty. But it feels really good. Like, I've played platformers on it. I've played like Streets of Rage 4, and then I've played Call of Duty on it, and I can play both of them comfortably, and it does not feel like the lag does not feel noticeable, at least. And if you could also go ask Lon. Now, the first Anchor Nebula, not the Capsule 2, the original Capsule, oh, that was rough. That was a totally different story. That thing was hot garbage. Mike Lindell licking shit cures COVID. I lick my own and have never gotten sick. I have the video evidence. You can find it in the scat section on Pornhub. So that's a thing. You could literally, and because it's so small, you could like take it with you. You could get one. I have a 43-inch screen that I could like take it to a barbecue, put the projector out at night. Obviously, that's one of the downsides of a projector. Now, keep in mind, my bedroom is always super dark. It could be a bright sunny day, just the way my bedroom's set up. It's always dark, so that's never an issue. So that's the thing you got to keep in mind. It needs to have a dark room. If you don't have a dark room, a projector is not for you. And you need to have a space to shoot the screen. That's the other downside too. Not everyone's going to have a flat white wall. I was talking to a friend of mine. She was saying that, oh man, that was really cool. I would like to do that too. I'm like, yeah, but she has like one of those popcorn ceilings. So that's not going to be enjoyable to look at. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for fucking everybody, and I'm not shilling it. There's many scenarios where it's not a good idea, but if you have but it's, another thing someone said to me to even think about with it, I really do sound like I'm shilling it, right? I swear I'm not making any money off the link I put in there. If you travel a lot and go to hotels, and I was like, that's a good point. So long as they have decent internet and you could stream. A lot of times they have the shit TVs there, or like, or you want the TV at a different angle or something, and boom, there you go. Spider-Man 2 from 04 is the best Spider-Man movie. Did I see that? Yes, I did. I don't remember if I liked it or not. It was a long time ago. Hey, Reggie, we tried out the DuckStation PS1. The amount of features are... What is it for? Is that for PC? I remember emulating PC or PS1 games on a PS2 back in like 1999. And it worked well. That was a long time ago, but it worked fine. Google Fish just snorted some peppermint oil and had my wife rail my ass with a dildo. Have you ever had your ass railed by a dildo? No, but I always talk about... I have to give you an applause for that, though.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
There was a girl who I used to work with at a restaurant that one of her biggest things was it would be a deal breaker. That's how important to her. Like, if she couldn't put a strap on and fuck the guy she was with in the ass, she would not date him. And the thing that really fucked your mind up, even though I wouldn't do it, she wasn't interested in me too. I'm going to keep it real, but I wouldn't do it. Is that she was really hot. Like, below Natalie Portman, but not by much kind of caliber hot. Yes, it is. I think MVG did a video on it. MVG did a video on what? I just don't remember what I said, and I am stone cold sober tonight, and I'm drinking decaf coffee. I am one boring man this evening. I am not. How do you feel about EA destroying the only NFL game we could play? Well, that's why they can do it. It's kind of like, yeah. You don't think Natalie Portman's hot? Hey, we could agree to disagree, but you're wrong. Oh shit, son. I gave you a snort. They don't have any competition. Dude, YouTube was a mess. I don't even know what the hell happened today, man. I uploaded a video about the Austin Evans video, and it was in review forever. Like, my channel's in completely good standing. I don't have any yellow anything. Like, it's all good. And the video, and so we were trying, like, what the fuck is taking so long? Is it because I said calm your tits at the end? Like, what is holding up the review process? So that video, like, and then we re-uploaded it, then it was checking again. So there had to be something that, like, probably the auto caption thought I said, like, penis or something. And then, like, the second video that we uploaded, which was talking about ethics of reviewers, that one bombed. It may have just been that no one gave a fuck about it, but it was like, even for a bad video of mine, it was still, and other people were saying that YouTube wasn't set. I was even talking to RGT85 via DMs, and he was like, yeah, YouTube, like, it was a weak month for a lot of people, and it's strange. I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube. But something was very weird today, and it wasn't just me saying it. Other people were like, yeah, I had issues too today. YouTube wasn't sending out my videos. The review was I think Augie was replied to me. He's like, yeah, it wasn't reviewing my video. It was taking forever. It was in limbo. So today was a mess. It was a stressful fucking day in and outside of YouTube. And so that's why I think I put that short up, because I was like excited to do that setup so I could game in bed. And yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place right now. Does Googlefish take horse pills to treat COVID? No, he's too smart for that. Did you hear the online school that scammed ESPN into showing their football team? No, I didn't. What the fuck happened with that? Check Dead Space remake early gameplay. Where is that? Is that on? I know they are going to have something on Twitch, but is it on YouTube? It would be easier to see on YouTube. Anyway, let's talk about Joe Rogan. Let's talk about Joe Rogan. Let's talk about Joe Rogan, because I'm interested in that. Going to try finally try and get a PS5. Wish me luck. I know I'll need it. Yes, you will. If you know what, man, if you follow like Inventory Bot on Twitter, your chances will increase. Again, I have no affiliation with them. I don't make a profit if you click on their links to buy consoles or graphics cards, but if you want a chance, that is where you go. Inventory Bot. Did he have a bad? I don't know. I'm kind of, this is, oh no, why am I, okay. I was buffering there for a second. Come on, YouTube. I have gigabit internet. You've been driving me crazy today. I love you, YouTube, but today was just...
But the battery life is really...
Ah! Why is the Soulja Boy console? Speaking of which, I'm getting one of those to review. And it's actually coming from Sunpie. I could say it now because it's on its way. I can't wait. Thank you, Sunpie. Shout out to fucking Sun, man. She hooked that shit up. It has to be Googlefish fucking... Lord of Holes cleans thy ass. You are fucking out of your mind, bro. You are out of your mind. Anyway. So let's see what's happening with our friend here, Joe Rogan. Can you see the text? Yes, you can. Joe Rogan, the host of the hugely popular podcast, even though I hear that guests aren't thrilled because he doesn't have the same reach on Spotify that he did on YouTube. It's what I'm hearing. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I'm hearing that. Said on Wednesday he had tested positive for coronavirus after he returned from a series of shows in Florida where the virus is rampant. Oh, my God. So you're unvaccinated and you go into like one of the biggest hot zones in the States. That's Excellent job, Joe. Well done, brother. I know you believe COVID's real. He's not on that fucking boat. But U.S. politicians and shills advocating for horse dewormer are still shocked when China and Russia overtake. And the thing is, like, don't believe this science, believe this science. But I thought you're trying to make your base question science to begin with. So why would they take ivermectin? I fucking can't, dude. I can't. So, Mr. Rogan, who was rebuked by federal officials last spring for suggesting on the pod that young, healthy people need not get COVID vaccinations, I guess my cousin should have gotten the memo with that, said that he started feeling sick on Saturday night after he returned from performing in Orlando, Tampa, and Fort Lauderdale. He did not say whether he had been vaccinated, which means he didn't. Because if the way his mindset has been, if he was vaccinated, Rogan is vaccinated or he's not. Throughout the night, I got fevers, sweats, and knew what was going on, he said in the video, adding that he moved to a different part of his house away from his family. In April, he mentioned that his children had experienced mild COVID-19 symptoms earlier. All right, thank you, Disney Aviation. Nate Frog, I was rebuilding a spare PC last night. Wanted you to put your stream on in the background. I needed a fucking break yesterday from, like, life in general. But anyway, and then to come back, I should have taken today off. Yesterday I should have worked. Today should have been the fucking day I took off. Also, tomorrow night will be very interesting too. I'm having Joker Productions on YouTube. He is going to explain to me why Austin Evans is completely wrong. And I know he's a smart dude. I trust his takes. So he's going to come on here and explain. I love hearing all angles of this. And he's going to explain to me why Austin Evans' take on the new PS5 revision is wrong. So make sure you come check that out tomorrow night. So let's see what Mr. Rogan himself has to say. IGN on YouTube showing a small tease of an environment, lighting details, new Necromorphs, and Zero G. It's still an early build. We'll still look at it, though. What the fuck? Why not, man? That's awesome. Bought limited run Quake. Why are you dumb? Actually, I may do that, too. That's actually pretty cool, man. Beagle Boy. So let's open up Mr. Rogan here.
Hello, friends. So I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache, and I just felt run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my family, slept in a different part of the house, and throughout the night, I got fevers and sweats, and I knew what was going on. So I got up in the morning, got tested, and turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything. And I also got an NAD drip and a vitamin drip, and I did that 3 days in a row. And so here we are on Wednesday, and I feel great. I really only had one bad day. Sunday sucked, but Monday was better. Tuesday felt better than Monday, and today I feel good. I actually feel pretty fucking good. That's the good news. The bad news is we have to move the Friday show in Nashville. It's going to move to Sunday, October 24th. So that will be the new Nashville date. My apologies to everyone. Obviously, there's nothing that I can control. It is what it is. Crazy times we're living in. But a wonderful, heartfelt thank you to modern medicine for pulling me out of this so quickly and easily. And my love to all of you. Thank you. Bye.
Did he really blow a kiss? That made me a little. And it wasn't even that he blew a kiss, but the kiss he blew was like, I thought he was gonna like you to do this. All right, so did he get? We got to find this out.
Hello, friends. So I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache.
I don't care. All right, Joe, we heard you. We heard you, Joe. Let's find out. Did Joe Rogan get? Let's confirm this first because it kind of changes. Yeah, I know. I'm so lovely for dealing with trying to get your product back for you for like 3 months because of customs. Anyway, that's a different story. Yes, I just announced, Joker, that you are going to be on tomorrow evening talking about, did Joe Rogan get vaccinated against coronavirus? Of course they're not going to. Of course they're, oh, Joe. I'm seeing here, it seems like everyone's just saying he's a vaccine skeptic. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and read through 37 different articles and bore. Well, did he say he's I know Regeneron is considered a, oh, yeah, this is what else I want to talk about, too. Yeah, let's do this. I forgot I had this up. Let's go. I know Regeneron has actually been approved in the UK to use against COVID. So if he's using that, that's rich people's medicine, though. That's rich people's medicine. So does anyone know if Joe Rogan is vaccinated or not? Joe Rogan is vaccinated? Well, that also explains why he's not, like, hell hasn't run him over. Anyway, well, whatever. Either way, though, let's move on to this. I have to look into that later. He got the J&J. Okay. So he got it. Still touring is an awful fucking idea right now, but whatever.
We live in a clown world where people will do whatever it takes to feel special for just a moment.
All right, good. I'm glad he got vaccinated. That's probably a big portion of the fucking reason that he feels he got over it quick.
Everyone's so hungry for clout.
I'm hungry for your hair, sir.
More important than oxygen to some people, and they'll make a fool of themselves on TikTok and pretty much anywhere online. I mention this streamer a lot, but there was a streamer that used to finger his butthole for $20.
See, I joke around with the shirt, but those are places I wouldn't. Anything from the waist down, I would not. Or taking shots of anything. Or taking, oh, Rich, take another edible. No, I wouldn't do that. I will take one leisurely if I want to, but I wouldn't do it for, like, money or anything.
There was that guy.
You don't know who Critical is, man? He's a legend, dude. I've been watching Critical since he was doing, like, the gameplay videos back in the day.
Guy we recently talked about who threw himself in front of a train to stop it as part of, like, a TikTok challenge, and then
No,
got 3
stop.
years in jail for it. It's really not easy to stand out from the crowd these
Thank you, Beagle Boy Gaming. I appreciate it, dude.
days.
He's I gotta look into this. Like, I don't know. Like, I just literally found out this shit. Like, I was scratching my nuts and going, as I'm scratching my nuts, I should probably get ready to stream. Oh, look, Joe Rogan has COVID. Oh, shit. Like, I haven't had time to look into any of this.
It's pretty cutthroat. You either eat ass or you get your ass eaten. And today, I want to show you what it looks like when your ass gets eaten.
Thank you.
No, wait, it's a story. I'm interested. It's a story. I just talked to Logan Paul. God.
So you quit your job. I was trying to find, what's his name?
I mean, like, he was just being nice, and I get it. Media, whatever, he has to be nice.
Dude's looking like he rubbed 5 raw onions in his eyes right now. Also, this is a really inefficient way of, like, wiping snot.
Yeah, if this is the way you're chasing clout, that's not how, like, you already look like a clown, so your career is going to be done instantly as soon as you try to do something like this. Also, why are you, as a grown man, crying meeting Logan Paul? Like, you could be a fan of him. I'm not knocking that, but it's not that serious, dude.
From your nose, it just looks like you're sniffing your finger after putting it up your butthole.
What's wrong with that? I do that all the time. You already told him my secret, so now I'm just putting it out there because you can't keep your fucking mouth shut.
Before I approached him, he was bragging about making $3 million. I make $100,000 a year.
That's supposed to be bad? Like 90% of the American population wishes, if not more, wishes they made 6 figures a year. I'm losing. I only make $100,000 a year. Oh no! I guess that 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house is just not enough for you to pay. Especially like some 100,000. You go like move to like North Carolina, or some of this. You could live like a king with $100,000 a year. What the fuck is this guy on?
22. I do make 100,000. That's cool, and I wanna act. I wanna do these things.
I hate fake crying. And even if it was real tears, this is real tears over the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I'm gonna break down right now.
Yeah, this whole thing comes across as like a shitty YouTuber apology, but
yeah, I agree with that.
While
Neil, I missed your super chat, did I? Where did I miss your super chat, bro? Does Googlefish take horse pills? No, I didn't miss that. I said he's too smart for that. Yeah, there's Texas too. There's no state income. That's part of the reason Joe Rogan and his big pecs moved there.
All bragging somehow. He comes in pretty hot with the condom off by immediately dropping how much he makes in a year.
Yeah, that was a flex.
Which seems kind of irrelevant, like he's belittling 100 grand by
Yeah, I only make 100 grand a year. I had to buy a BMW 3 Series instead of an X5.
Comparing it to Logan Paul's 3 mil, even though 100 grand in a year is an extreme amount of money.
I mean, obviously after taxes, that's like 60, but still.
More than most people will see in their entire fucking life. So it's hard to really feel sympathy for him in that moment. And the way he, like, conveyed it, like, I make $100,000 a year, I'm 22 years old, it makes it seem like an advertisement. I thought he was about to transition into trying to sell me on something like...
like a pyramid scheme, yeah. I make $100,000 a year. You could too.
Like a guru self-help book or something. Like turn around and start talking about some kind of pyramid scheme or like an NFT he invested in and how he got rich. It's just really like...
Still don't understand NFTs. Logan Paul is a flat earther. Stop.
Seems so fucking goofy.
Oh, I'm sitting in the cast. I don't even know what to do. Just watch the clip, okay?
Sneaking thing?
No, I didn't. I quit my job. No.
Wait,
It's a story.
I'm interested.
It's a story. I quit my...
No, he's not. Logan Paul, you can see in his face, is not interested at all. He's like, this guy is chasing clout. He's here right now, clout chasing, and he's about to say something stupid to me.
Job legit. 2 days ago, I came up here, took a risk. I'm originally from Ohio.
Did you sneak up here?
No, I didn't sneak in here. I didn't sneak. What do you mean sneak up?
Like
here?
on stage? Or you just like...
Yes, I did.
I could have...
So you quit your job to sneak up on stage to ask Logan Paul for a job to do what? Like, does he want someone? Does he want to pay someone a salary to stare at him? Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Do you think he's gonna like hire you? Like, Snoop Dogg hired someone for $50,000 a year to roll his blunts. I shit you not. There is a guy who makes a salary every year rolling blunts for Snoop Dogg. Like, what do you expect him to fucking do? No, I don't think he needs a blunt roller.
Out a lot of his crying just to get into the clip where you can see what brought about this meltdown here. So he snuck onto stage during the Jake Paul fight, I believe, and was trying to get a job from Logan Paul, which is obviously a...
If I quit my job and begged Logan Paul for a job, my mom would have her foot so far up my ass I wouldn't be able to walk straight. Can I get 5 farts? Of course you can. If you want... Come on, bird. One more for us. There you go, you handsome bastard. There you go. Good looking bird.
stupid idea. You have to be a real goofy goober to think that that's ever going to work. But I know a lot of people have this fantasy because they've watched anime one time and they see the protagonist never gives up and then he eventually gets the girl and becomes the hero. So then they try and adopt that persona where like, I'll never give up and I'll accomplish everything. But they do it in the wrong way, like this guy. So he just approaches Logan, total stranger, and he just starts going over his resume. And Logan, like, immediately calls it out, too, by saying, like, hey, you definitely snuck in here, right? And he's like, no, 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 no. But yes.
It's true. No, I did. Yeah, I did. I actually did. Like, what do you expect if I was, which I would never happen, if I was at, like, a concert or a convention and you snuck in, and you're like, hey, Rich, I really want you to give me a job, which I'm not even in the same ballpark of relevancy as Logan Paul. But so that probably wouldn't happen. But if it did, I'd be like, how the fuck did you get here? And what do you want? And what the fuck do you think I could do? How much for you to do the Jacko? I have no idea what the Jacko challenge is. I'm imagining you working at a fast food drive-thru, but you take soundboard orders and ask people. Yeah, it's pretty much. I'm like the McDonald's of soundboard orders. But bump, bump, bump. You're a fucking bird. Fucking bird.
It's one of the sneak videos.
Sorry,
Did you print the ticket and stuff?
No, like, I just need to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to your brother.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Logan Paul, flat earther or not. I totally like. What the fuck do you want? I don't want to. He's actually being more patient than me because at this point I would probably be like, dude, get the camera out of my fucking face.
I'm trying to talk about business.
Or actually what I would do is I would fuck with him and be like, dude, why are you trying to grab my ass, bro? Why are you trying? Like, I would ruin the whole video where you would have to just, like, not even post it. Like, bro, why are you trying to grab my ass? Come on. That's unnecessary. That's uncalled for. Take me out to dinner first.
About trying to get a job.
I hate when rich people say money isn't everything, but when you come from a poor family, a six-figure... Yeah, I don't get this guy. Like, he has a six-figure job, and he probably grew up with parents who probably made, like, $300,000 a year. So to him, it's like 100,000. Like, he's used to living in that level of comfort. So to him, it's being broke, is exactly what it is.
Like, I want to do media. I've been trying to get...
What are you good at?
I was 7 dances. I did like
What's
that.
your TikTok
I did that video, like going like that. Yeah, you know.
Oh, so you really got what it takes.
Yeah, I don't.
Then why would I
need
give
a
you
mentor.
job?
He's also extremely bad at making a case for himself.
Yeah, like, you could dance. What the fuck does Logan Paul have to do with dancing anyway?
So a lot of times, like, for example, when Elon Musk was doing his open conference and taking questions from the crowd, and that guy approached him saying, like, I'm a super genius and you need to hire me for your board of directors because I'm so fucking smart. And if you don't, you're going to regret it. In fact, I might even be CEO of Tesla pretty soon, so you should hire me. At least he was, like, confident in himself in the way that he, like, carried it. This guy's like, hey, I want a job, but I'm also not good at anything. Like, Logan even, like, threw him a bone. He's like, oh, so you definitely have what it takes. He's like, no, I fucking suck. Like, if you're gonna commit this hard, at least just lie about being cool or something. Yeah, I used to work for the CIA, but had to be retired after racking up too many kills. Or, I was the stunt double for Andre the Giant and Princess story, and now I'm just looking to get back in the business. But this guy, he doesn't even bother trying to sound like he's qualified for any position. The only thing he can muster is, I did a TikTok dance once. And I did it
it's true.
Shitty. Like, come on, man. Like, what do you expect Logan Paul to do? Like, hear that and be like, oh, welcome aboard. Fucking fist bump him. I want to say, Logan Paul looks really good here. He comes across as, like, a really understanding, nice guy. Even gives him some good advice to go off of. So, if this was, like, a marketing strategy from Logan's team, they fucking crushed it here. Because Logan really comes across great.
Probably. Yeah, he's not going to, like, be a dick.
But I actually think this was a genuine interaction with a guy who needs some help.
Well, why would I do that?
I want to be like, I'm 22 years old. I'm just trying.
I bet. I can't be a mentor right now, right? In my life, I'm a fuck up myself. I need a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need
connections and you need people be around you, right?
No, I didn't have connections and people around. I have Jake. That's it. Do you have a brother? Do you have people, friends?
I don't.
Friends? You got friends. You got amigos.
I don't.
You don't have friends?
I don't. I swear to God. I'm here by myself.
Where are you from?
I find it extremely hard to believe when someone says they have no friends, because that's pretty much impossible these days. Everyone has friends. No matter how much of a fuck-up you are or how outrageous the things you believe are, you will always have people that are on your side. So I really think a lot of what he says in this video is lying in order to garner sympathy from Logan.
Yeah, of course.
Thinking that it would help him land a job, which obviously never works. It's like that same strategy nice guys use to try and make a girl fall for them, where they just be as pathetic as they can.
Yeah, that does not work. That does not work. I don't even understand how people think that shit works. What happened? Oh, no. Hold on, my editor is sending me something here. What happened? I'm streaming right now. Are you naked?
Like, they'll be whining and crying in front of the girl they like, oh, no one likes me, my dog won't even look at me.
That's not even just with dating. People don't like giving pity parties. Like, everyone's life has problems. My life has problems. You're like, no one wants to hear about someone else's problems except therapists because they're paid to do it. Like, I get it, man. Like, life sucks. Believe me, everyone goes through. I thought life sucks, but you get what I mean. Like, everyone has their struggles. Like, you making yourself seem pathetic. Keep in mind, like, as you're sitting here with Logan Paul in the back of it with your 6-figure job, there's a kid in a third world country who's probably drinking dysentery infected water. Shut the fuck up.
My dog took a shit on the floor because they were so disgusted with me. God, no one's ever gonna love me except maybe you. Can you show me your titties? You know? That...
I get love from no one. Will you love me and show me your titties? Yes. My bird is losing his mind. Carlos the ass. So what would you like again? 2 farts?
Whoa! Whoa!
There you go. Man, actually, do you want a Biggie size fries or whatever the fuck it's called?
Really weird thing that the nice guys will do to make the girl like feel bad for them, bad enough to like date them, is that's the impression I get from this guy and the way he approaches the situation. Because then he...
Oh man, this... You have got to be kidding me. This is gold. My editor said this to me, and I'm going to read about this later and read up on it. Kotaku didn't get invited to preview Far Cry 6, so they instead wrote about other outlets doing it, how they sucked at doing it. Why did I record that and send that to my editor? I have no idea why I recorded me reading your message that I was reading to my audience, because it's been a long day. Yes, I did watch Mr. Who's the Boss video. I actually made a video discussing that today. Maybe we'll watch that too. Yes, we'll watch that too. We're gonna have a fun-filled night tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
He goes in to talk about how he quit his job in order to come here and try and get this from Logan Paul. Dude apparently just quit $100,000 a year job at 22 years.
No, he did. I'm also going to make another. He probably wasn't making a job making 6 figures a year. That was a flex that's non-existent.
It's either the dumbest decision of all time or a lie. I cannot imagine anyone would be that reckless. There's nothing wrong with following your dreams, but to quit your job and throw away everything in order to pursue...
Or he could quit the job because he has that mommy and daddy money. I've seen that.
Pursue them is the wrong way of doing it. You need to approach your dreams in a reasonable, rational manner. I know everyone has this like glorified fantasy that they'll read about online about how like the billionaire quit his job, sold his house, lived out of a box, drank piss for 1,000 years before he finally hit it big and it was all worth it. But that's just not likely to happen to you. There is no reason to quit your job to pursue your passion. You should pursue...
No! I'm going to back off from what... Maybe he's going to say it now too. Oh... I gotta pee and I farted. I gotta urinate. It's gonna feel great. I'll be right back.
do it while also making
I did not shit myself, god damn it.
sure you are taken care of as well.
I'm from Norwalk,
Bro,
Ohio.
you're a good-looking guy, bro. You have friends, bro. You're fucking lying. You have friends. Go make content, do stuff with your friends. I'm glad you quit your job. It takes balls to do that, bro. But like now you gotta act.
Try to make a step.
I'm not. But I'm not the guy.
Yeah, but you don't. That's not how it works. Like, you don't just go up to someone else and be like, I want to be a YouTuber. Who's a YouTuber? I'm like, that's great. What do you do? I don't know. I don't really do anything. Okay, what the fuck would I do with you then? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have something, man. Like, I mean, thank God I don't, but God forbid, like, I ever needed another editor or something. I mean, I could edit myself too, but you would not see the amount of output coming from me if I was solo. If someone like, Rich, I want to be your editor. Okay, do you have any work that you could show me? No, I've never once edited in my life. Okay, you're hired. Like, the fuck you think I'm going to say to you? Here I sit so brokenhearted. I had to piss, but only farted. I'm very sorry, DBZ.
Directly,
You're
right?
you're the guy.
No,
you're the
no,
guy.
no, bro. My team is this. Relax, bro. Relax. I'm not the guy. Like, you know, life isn't about handouts. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm
You
not
gotta
trying to
work.
get a handout. I'm not trying to get
What
a
are you trying
handout.
to do?
I'm trying to work hard for a little money. No money.
That's the very definition of a handout. You have approached him completely out of the blue, unprovoked, told him a sob story, and are hoping to get a job out of it. That is a handout. Even if he gave you an unpaid internship position, that is him being nice to you because you made him feel bad.
I don't know. I can get a job somewhere else. All I want to move to LA, and I want to be able to be part of it.
Look, I have to go. If you really are serious about it, bro,
serious.
you should move to LA and just like you approached me, start making connections.
Yeah, just hustle, man. Just hustle. Like, you just making it, you having filming and making a TikTok video and trying to put him in indirect pressure is not going to do shit for you, you dumbass.
Every single person
I will.
in LA. I'm serious. That's it. I've always said this. If you
I mean, look, this guy isn't a complete fool. I'm sitting here, not that my live streams, you know, get 10,000 viewers concurrently, but I'm talking about it. You had Critical, who's way more relevant than me, talking about it. He's talking to Logan Paul. I'm sure him saying, "Can I have a job?" Logan Paul, or whatever he named his fucking TikTok video, got him 8 billion fucking views. So there's that. But you're right, you'll get that little pop where people are talking about you. But what do you have to offer after that? What is it? Like, you scratching a pimple on your ass is not a sellable talent.
charismatic and you can talk to someone, you can make it in LA. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's my advice.
Unironically, Logan Paul comes across incredible throughout this entire interaction. While I don't necessarily agree with the advice of moving to LA, he's not wrong either. If that guy does want to pursue this seriously, he would need to consider going to LA and just trying to network, I suppose. I think LA fucking sucks. It's my least favorite place on the planet, probably. But it's also not horrible advice to give this guy either. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't seem like he actually took the advice to heart or anything, because he starts crying in his car about the interaction, so he was apparently not pleased with the result. He really went in there with that sense of entitlement, like,
what did you think was going to happen? You were going to get a job?
I deserve this job, and I'm going to get it. Again, I think that falls into that like, I don't even know what to call it.
More of his
that
footage?
mindset that some people have where they are.
No, it's just him talking, so. I love Critical. We'll go over to the next video in a second. Yeah, what did my editor say to me?
Tell your audience I've seen your ass. Tell your audience I've seen your ass.
That is true. So, can I have a job? Logan Paul. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day, what a day. So let's go watch Mr. Who's the Bosses. Mr. Who's the Boss. And all this they say is true. I've seen this video, so...
Tech companies have figured out how to squeeze the most positive, favorable coverage out of YouTubers and journalists. And to be honest, I think it's time you knew about it. So,
and all this shit's true too. Rich, I'm taking a shower and you're coming with me. Well, damn, you're going to wash my ass for me? Thank you, sir.
I've been working with Marquez, MKPHD, to lay out the 5 key ways that these tech companies manipulate the media. Now, one thing that seems to be increasing at an alarming rate is giveaways with the launch of reviews. Now, don't get me wrong,
this I've never personally dealt with.
Giveaways can be a great thing, but companies have quickly realized that by partnering up with influencers like us to make giveaways as part of our review videos, they can massively reduce the negativity surrounding their product. You probably remember these nothing ear ones, right? Well,
this guy got some crazy fucking editing, man. I gotta step my game up. Holy shit. Bro, no wonder why he has like 8 billion subs. My stuff still looks like it's made in 2008 compared to this. Jesus.
As part of their hype generation strategy.
Oh wow, he's throwing shade at what's his name? Unbox Therapy, huh?
They did exactly this. They even asked me, and it's tempting, because like how often does a company say to you they're going to make you 100 custom versions of their product for you to give to your audience? But then I really thought about it, and I realized I've got no idea how these earphones sound. I've not tested them yet, but if I'm going to be giving away 100 pairs of them in my video, I'm going to look like a right idiot if I then say I don't like them.
See, I wouldn't care. That one I wouldn't care about. Yo, this product sucks. You could still have a giveaway, though. That's cool. I personally wouldn't be bothered by.
Can you imagine? Don't buy these earphones. They suck. By the way, I'm launching a massive giveaway of them. Please like, share, subscribe to enter. Like, if I'm organizing a giveaway on
Alright, yeah, you got a little bit of a point there. Never mind.
My own terms, that's fine. But if a company is saying to me, let us send you 50 or 100 units to give away as part of your review video, immediately what they're trying to do with that is turn my organic content into a promotional video.
That's true.
Without needing to pay or write up contracts or even make it officially sponsored. Over to Marquez for number 2.
Okay, so the next version of this that I've seen is what I'll call the coming soon feature.
Yeah, I've actually dealt with this one. People were complaining with the Hisense TV that they gave me the review sample. With my X900H, I bought that TV, reviewed that TV, gave it a recommendation. I did say that some of the features aren't in there, but some of the features still aren't in there, and they were supposed to be, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. But there were features that at least they were supposed to be in there by now that aren't there yet. They're probably still coming, but they aren't there yet. So it makes you look like a fucking idiot.
The feature that gets announced on stage and makes a lot of headlines, and it gets people very excited and it's super impressive. But it's not ready yet. It's coming soon.
Yep, like VRR.
Later. But this thing was announced on stage, and now you're holding it in your hand, and it's not here yet, so you kind of just have to include maybe a sentence or two about it, about what it's supposed to do. So an example of this would be when the iPhone 11 came out, and that Deep Fusion feature was also announced on stage as one of the new camera features.
And it didn't actually come in the phone when it first... Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
So every written review and every video review had something in there that was basically, at this point, a quote from Apple about what Apple said Deep Fusion would do, but then it didn't come out for a while. And then, of course, as you can imagine, weeks later, when it did show up, it wasn't all that great. It didn't make a huge difference. But now, all of those reviews, the written reviews, you can go back and add a couple sentences, but the video reviews, you can't really go back and change. And those impressions of those quotes from Apple are stuck in people's heads rather than what the feature actually was.
Yep. So basically, as a reviewer, you're advertising a feature. I did that with the Sony TV. I advertised feature, not here yet, but here's what they're going to do. And it's not there. And if something happens where either the feature's not that great or they never end up including, the TV's processor we realized isn't fast enough, so we couldn't include VRR. I'm just making up as if shit. Then it's like, okay, but you had me advertise a feature basically when I didn't even want to advertise, but I had to talk about it because it may actually be there one day, but now it's not fucking there, so what do I do? And it makes you look like an idiot. Can you make it? Yes, you can make a dark humor joke. Yeah, I mean, depending. I got the CRT video out. That's out. I did that video.
But it gets worse, because number 3 is the absolute fiasco that is embargoes. Now, an embargo is not in itself a bad thing.
Yeah. Embargoes piss me off a little bit, though, but let me hear what their take is.
It's just basically when a company says, don't publish your videos before this particular time on this particular date. That's why you see like 20 videos all at once when a product launches.
Which I fucking hate, because then, you know what, I even do it too. I'm guilty of it, so I'm hypocritical, because I'm kind of doing what aggravates me, is that you're going to go to the first, like, oh, I want to see a phone review. I'm going to see MKBHD. So, like, the fledgling person, you know, who's trying to come up and do, like, no one's going to, even if they have high production value and it's well done, everyone's just going to go right by them because the other people are already, like, have a chokehold on it. But I understand why embargoes to a degree have to exist, but let's continue.
Every reviewer has been given the same embargo time. But a lot of the time companies abuse this system with something called a dual embargo. They tell reviewers, okay, when we announce...
what did the Afghanistan people falling... falling... Oh, stop, man. That's wrong.
Announce the product. The only videos you can make are first impressions videos. If you want to do any kind of in-depth coverage or any kind of comparison, then you have to wait for the full embargo, which is a week or 2 weeks later.
So basically what they're getting is an advertisement out of all the reviewers, is what they're doing.
They come up with some sort of excuse.
Where you could do an unboxing. That's actually happened to me too. You could do an unboxing, but you can't say anything else about it. What the fuck?
It's like, oh, we need to issue an important software update in that 1 week period. And they'll use this to give you a whole list of things that in your first video you just can't say or show. This happens a lot, and it's pretty clear why companies do it. 2 embargoes basically forces the media to split what could have been 1 article or 1 video
into 2. Yeah.
2, to give the company 2 separate waves of coverage. One set when the product launches, but then also one set a couple of weeks later, which often just so happens to be when that product is coming up for pre-order. But also B, to make the launch coverage, the videos that most people will actually watch, artificially positive. See,
yeah, because you can't talk about certain things. So if you can't talk about certain things, then it basically just becomes an ad.
The restrictions given to reviewers for their first...
It's a fucking game, and they're manipulating the reviewer as well as the audience.
First videos, they're often so tight that you can't really say what you actually think. There was a recent launch where I was told the first impressions video must focus on the hands-on experience of the device. No benchmarks, no camera judgment, no camera samples. You're welcome to talk about the design and specifications. Design and specifications. If that's what someone wants, that's what ads are for. People don't watch...
Yeah, I agree with him on this.
...my videos to find out design and specifications. They want opinions, they want judgment, and companies know this. They know that if they restrict reviewers from giving opinions, then all they really can talk about are all the new features they've...
All the features, all the positive things.
...added, which naturally gives the viewers the impression that this is a complete no-brainer product that has no negatives.
So yeah, you might remember this happening pretty recently and very clearly intentionally with the Microsoft Surface Duo. I mean, this was one where obviously...
That phone never intrigued me. I never had an interest... Like, I mean, I've seen it in practice. It's just,
A lot of people were interested in it. It's this dual-screen Android phone, collaboration between Google and Microsoft. And yeah, us reviewers all got 2 embargoes. So when embargo number 1 hits, you're allowed to show anything you want, as much as you want, as long as it's just the hardware. You can't show the software. It's not done yet or whatever. It's not finished. It's not ready. So you're not allowed to turn it on in your first video. But you can show as much hardware as you want. They literally said that, and some people actually repeated it, including me, in our videos. We weren't allowed to turn it on camera. And so this was maybe the most obvious, biggest red flag of all time because, yeah, of course, the Surface Duo had some really nice hardware. It had this super sleek, thin, beautiful design, one of the best hinges I've ever seen. And that stuff was all very broadly painted beautifully in this first impression. And that's everyone's biggest impression. But the second you turn it on, you encounter a not great software experience. And Microsoft knew that, and that's what eventually showed up.
Or, to give you another example,
I just never saw the Fold just is way more intriguing to me. I almost bought one the other day, but I stopped myself.
the Nothing Ear ones again. Do you know how these guys had it?
I never heard of these things until recently, but they bombed. What the fuck are these things?
Initially planned to do their launch. 2 embargoes. And if you wanted to release a video for the first embargo, when everyone's going to be paying attention, you weren't allowed to talk about fit or sound. Let me get this very clear.
Earbuds, you can't talk about how they fit or how comfortable they are or what they sound like. That's like being able to review a car but not being able to drive it. What the fuck?
You want me to make a video about a pair of earphones without talking about how they feel or sound in the ears? What do you expect me to do for 10 minutes? Start knitting? Hey guys, this is my review of the Nothing Ear 1. They're really... I quite like how they're... What can I actually say? I would have felt guilty.
Yeah, if a company doesn't want you talking about the main feature of their product, that means you run from it.
Posting a video with such little information on this channel. But thankfully, after we pushed back, the company eventually did agree to change it to just one embargo where you could say everything. So, fair play to them for listening. Most companies don't. But do you know the biggest thing that annoys me about these embargoes is that companies only enforce them when it suits them. So last year, for the launch of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, I was asked to travel to London in the middle of a pandemic to film a video in the company's shared space. Okay, fine. And then I spent a full week scripting that video to try and make the best possible, most detailed piece of content I could, and the second the phone launched, I posted it, I was so relieved the video was doing well, only then the company emailed me to say, take it down.
Oh, shit.
Excuse me? Take the video down because it violates our first impressions embargo. Because you compared this phone to a different model, we think this video counts as too in-depth.
I've had that happen with reviews. I mean, I still was allowed to say negative things, but they didn't want me to say another brand's name in the video. And I'm like, why? People know that other brands exist. Why the fuck can I say, like, compared to this, it's a review, you're not paying me. What the fuck? I mean, fine, whatever, I'll play by the rules, you're still letting me be critical. But why can't I say your competitor's name? It's silly. This isn't an ad. What the fuck? But whatever.
Okay, so what Samsung's basically saying is that they deem any kind of comparison as too much information to give for your first impressions video. Fine. But I'd made almost exactly the same comparison for their previous launch, and presumably because that was a more positive video, for that launch, they didn't just not say anything, but they actually actively reached out to me to ask if they could promote that video. But also...
It's funny how that works, huh? All of a sudden the rules play when it's in their things are fine when it's in their favor, but then all of a sudden they're worried about the rules.
In all these phone launch presentations, they are already making comparisons. Samsung had already told people that this new phone was like 20% faster than the last one, and that the new camera had better autofocus, and that the S Pen was more responsive, etc. These are all inherently comparisons. And so what they really meant was not no comparisons allowed in your first videos, but in fact, only the comparisons that we want to be allowed in your first videos. And Samsung are not the only company who do this. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. The point is, dual embargoes are gross, and they prevent journalists from doing their job.
All right, so another one, and this one's kind of interesting, actually, exclusives and interviews and things like that. It's sort of along the same lines as companies trying to turn organic impressions and evaluation into promotion for free. So you might have noticed on my channel,
no shit.
We've done a fair amount of interviews and really fun, sometimes even world exclusives, that are amazing videos. They make for a great experience both for the viewer and for myself. But at some point, the light bulb went off and people at these companies started to realize they could use these interviews as a sort of mask or just to use them to offset any negative PR. They could use them in orchestration alongside a product launch to minimize negativity. And so now these have become like a really interesting, delicate dance to walk, because companies will approach you with an interview they want to do. I remember an example would be what OnePlus did.
Yeah, and they want you to, if you don't, I've talked about this before this video was even made out. That was an interesting still to have on a Marquez. Where to get the, people want to see the interviews. You want to get the interviews. I've gotten all a fat goose egg of them. Gee, I wonder why. It's not like I take off my shirt and smack a cucumber across my face. But to get the interviews, basically you have to lick the boots of whatever corporate executive you're talking to. You can't ask any tough questions. It's just basically an advertisement for them. But that gets a lot of viewership. So there's a lot of people who just cave and do it. Because it's you, the media knows this too. Like not the media, the corporations know this too. Like, hey, if you want to talk to Bob, the high up executive at whatever gaming company, you're going to have to play ball, meaning you're going to have to kiss his ass and not ask any tough questions. And they know that that gets viewership on that person's channel. So they have to be beholden to basically throwing softballs to the person that they're interviewing if they want to maintain their job. It's fucked up.
With the Nord, when they were first going to announce this super hyped ultra budget phone, the OnePlus Nord, OnePlus came to me and said, all right, Marquez, we have a world exclusive. We'll let you interview Carl Pei, co-founder, and you guys can talk all about this stuff. And what they wanted was let's talk about the history of OnePlus, and let's talk about why we're launching a new product line, and this promo, and that promo, and this talking point. And so behind the scenes, I had to do a lot of twisting and a lot of messing with that plan in order to make a different video where it was still a fun exclusive interview, but we got to talk about the actual process of making a budget phone in general. We got real prices for different parts of a phone and how much they cost to manufacture, but that was a far twist from what they were planning on making, which would have been an ad. So this is the type of thing that's evolved a lot lately, and we ended up still making something that was pretty great for the viewer and great to show people, but it's definitely changing.
Okay, this one's really unfortunate. I want to bring your attention to out of context quoting.
Yeah.
That's not right. And if you are enjoying this video, then a sub to the channel would be right. When I make a review of a product, I spend a long time crafting that script. I try to make I
gotta start scripting.
Really tight, structured storyline that is meant to be watched from start to finish. And I like to think that this makes them useful videos to engage with. But it also means that if you just take one sentence out in isolation, it is not...
You can make anything sound good. I've had that happen too.
Not at all going to summarize the subtlety of what I'm trying to say. I'll give you an example.
Not to this extreme.
Last year, I made a full review about that Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and I titled this video, The Perfect Samsung. And what I meant by that, which I explained in the content itself, was that this was a brilliant phone, but it was let down by some of the fundamental problems that Samsung phones in general have. So I was kind of surprised to see that a week later, this title was sitting on Samsung's homepage. The Perfect Samsung. Those are my words, but when taken out of context, they mean something
completely different.
I spent a long time digging, and as far as I can see, they didn't tell me they were going to use that quote. But even at the very least, if they did, I would have expected them to at least link the full video from there, so people could understand what I meant by it. Nope. And there's plenty of other examples of this, one of the major ones being these mashup videos. The 30-second or so quick fire cut from various reviewers. It's very clear why they make these videos. They're short, they're sharp, and they leverage the trust that people have in these reviewers. But...
And it makes it like the reviewer is saying nothing but positive things.
They chop out all the caveats. They'll cut videos mid-sentence to exclude any negatives, any buts they might mention, to make it seem like they've just created the perfect phone. If you chop out the caveats, you could make the Red Hydrogen 1, a phone that was universally regarded
That phone was shit. I remember a friend of mine had that too. That phone was real fucking bad.
As a miserable fail, seem like an incredible device. Look, this is a mashup that I made myself for this phone that was reviewed as like a 3 out of 10 in a best case scenario.
Isn't this YouTube career suicide to call a tech company since they could never give them early hands on? Not at their level. Not at their level. At my level, yes. But the thing is that I like 3% of my channel is, even though I've been doing more reviews lately, but you know, at the same time, like, it has to be called. It can't be just okay, because then how long have you guys have known? How many times have I talked about this in streams that I've seen this happening on YouTube, where you see channels just doing overviews of products where it seems just enough to the viewer like a review, but they're just kissing the product's ass so they stay in the company's favor and get access. So the audience feels placated, like they're getting a review, even though it's not called a review. And the corporation's happy, so they give the content creator access, or the journalist access. And the journalist is making bank because they're getting exclusivity, because they're getting access, because they're metaphorically sucking on the company's dick. I've talked about this for ages. My jaw's hitting
the ground.
Yes, that's so true. That is more true in more ways than access. That's a very weighted word with what you just wrote and means a lot. Think about it. No way a grown fucking man my age is seeing Finnegan Fox and saying their jaw's hitting the ground. That's a fact. Dude stole a box TV from our porch. Thankfully, it was broken TV. We reboxed so we could throw it out. Oh, wow. There are some horrible people out there, huh?
The Hydrogen One smartphone. It's definitely one
look at
the
this.
most unique looking phones of this year.
Whoa.
It's just so different.
It's built like an absolute tank. But beyond that,
Holographic display creates an experience beyond 3D.
Things will sort of pop out of the screen and
God, that screen was so fucking bad, and those holographic pictures were a joke.
fly at you.
Kind of float above the display, unlike any other phone selling today.
Amazing speakers, 4,500 milliamp hour battery, so the biggest in any phone I've tested so far. Interchangeable lens.
And this is such a perfect phone to use. I've had hands-on experience with this phone, and it was a fucking hunk of shit. Awful phone. Awful.
Mount, smartphone form factor, a holographic media machine, cameras.
You really can create something almost magical. A photo that seems to jump off the screen.
I'm ready for this.
It is unique.
Every time I pick it up, I'm impressed all over again.
So yes, you did hear that right. I said Snapdragon 835. That's why the performance and battery life are actually good.
The world never saw this coming.
Red cares a lot.
That phone, that was great. Oh, I got to give him. Ha ha, man. The fuck, yeah, that phone was awful, and he made it seem amazing.
Now, don't get me wrong. Companies do sometimes ask for permission before using our content like this. They sometimes purchase licenses, but they often don't. And they never tell you that they're going to use it in a way that alters your message. So there you have it. Pre-launch giveaways, features coming soon, dual embargoes, exclusives, interviews, and out-of-context quoting. Now you know. Thanks to Marquez for hopping in on this one. You can find his channel down below. To find out if you can actually trust me, click here. Or to see some of the cheapest, wildest tech on the planet.
Yeah, I'll leave a like on his video. Yo, man. It's true, though. It's all fucking true. And like I said, if you're not a good boy or girl, you don't get to play ball. That's how they fucking get you. It's shady. I'd rather be genuine with my thoughts and observation on a product than what the advertisers want to manipulate. Thus, why I probably never get attention. A lot fine with me, though. Well, there's another extreme that I remember, like, when I used to think a product sucked, I would, like, throw it across the room and make a YouTube. Yes, I've literally done that. I remember I had a controller that someone sent me, and I said, here's my review of it. It's garbage. Don't buy it. And I threw it across the room. God. How do I still do this as a living? But anyway. That's not proper etiquette. You could say a product is bad, okay, without throwing it across the room. But yeah, the ass kissing just drives me fucking insane. It is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And you don't have to like curb stomp the product to prove the point that it's terrible. You know what I mean? So, but you know, yeah, I mean, it's a game. It's definitely a game, and you either have to be at the level that they're at, where you're at a point where you like, what are they going to do? Marquez has almost 15 million subscribers or close to it. And Mr. Who's the Boss is pushing it up on 8.5 million. Like, you're not going to not send them something. Where are their Freedom Phone ads? No, they're still pushing that shit? No. Stop it. Right now. That's insane. Companies expect reviewers to roll out a red carpet and kiss both their ass cheeks to get access. Your existence shouldn't rely on it. But it does. That was the thing that pissed me off, too, when I saw the guys from The Verge, the journalists from The Verge saying, the reviewers should send them back. They shouldn't get them. Like, wait, the perks you get, which probably relates to literally millions of dollars a year, is that you get early access. You get to go and hold on to like the prototypes of the unit. Like they not quadruple dip. That's actually conservative. They like 10 times dip per product. Like if Samsung's making a phone, other companies have done. I'm not saying as if example, okay? Like, oh, Samsung's working on it. They invited us out to blah, blah, blah in California to test it. Now we're going to preview it. Now we're going to do a software update impressions. Now we're going to do a review. Now we're going to write 20 articles on it before anyone else can even have access to the fucking phone. And you're going to complain about someone getting a free fucking phone? Oh, gee golly, I got $300, a $300 phone, which I don't need. But you got millions of dollars of early access that many other tech reviewers don't have. Man, I sure feel unethical. Glad you have a whole department that could send back products after you review them. Get out of here, you out-of-touch idiots. Come on, man. And like I said in my video today, I'm not going to ruin the credibility of my channel because someone sent me, like Blue used to send me phones, and most of them I didn't recommend. I think there was one that was okay that I was like, for the price, it's not bad. Like, am I going to ruin the credibility of my reviews and have no one trust them because they're like, wow, Rich recommended this phone, and then 10,000 people go out and buy it, and all they're like, wow, I'm never going to trust him again. This phone's a piece of shit. Like, why would I do that? But yes, it's just that I want free swag. Come on, man. Like, grow a fucking brain. Companies expect reviewers to roll out. Yeah, you got a PS4 Pro for $100. It's actually a good fucking deal. No need to buy a scalp for now. Blues, like, they're still a thing, but you know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, oh, he got a, and it was so funny that this got brought up because there's someone else who brought it up beforehand that we won't mention here. But it was interesting seeing like people from The Verge talking about this, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you really don't get it? You really don't understand how and Lon Seidman called him out beautifully, man. Shout out to Lon Seidman again. He called him out beautifully. He was like, you're complaining that people get to keep a product but you get literally millions of dollars of access, early access a year. Yeah, they should sure feel ashamed of themselves, huh? I don't. It's a dude. Everything. Human beings make everything into politics. The Freedom Phone is tremendously the best phone there is. I believe I know it comes with a spray tan case and a Como. We got to look at that ad, Vampire Rockstar. How the hell did you get one for $100, dude? Did someone take a shit on it, Jeffrey? That's pretty low even for a PS4. That's low for a PS4 Pro. They still go for like $300, don't they? Here's some coffee, man. Greetings from Swindon. And thank you very much, dude. I appreciate that immensely. So let's look at the Freedom Phone. Freedom Phone ad. I think we did this already. I think we looked at the Freedom Phone ad already. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Never mind. I can't believe that's still a fucking thing. All parts made in China. Gotta love those American Freedom Phones made in China from the same facilities as other fucking phones. PS4 Pro is close to 400. Why the fuck are they? Why? I guess because you know the reason why that price is pumped, Jeffrey, is because the PS5 is out of stock. There is no reason that, like, once there's an abundance of stock for, they're trying to, maybe I'll look at a laptop. I don't know. There is, this generation especially, the 9th generation has made the 8th gen consoles completely irrelevant. Completely. There is no reason to buy a PS4 Pro or PS4 or Xbox One S or Xbox One X or Xbox One. Turbo Express sells his turds for free. That's wonderful, Turbo. That's good to know, dude. There's just not, because the consoles are pretty much fully backwards compatible and they make the games run better. So, yeah, buying it but the reason why it's selling so high right now is because of the insane. I'm going to take these off for a little bit. Is because of this insane demand of the PS5. So people are like, all right, I'll take what I can get. But actually, no, like I said, $100 for a PS4 Pro is actually a good deal. And the console's going to be supported for another probably like year and a half, 2 years. Bill Nye the Ass Eye. That's wonderful, Google Fish. You got a PS4 Pro at a pawn shop for like someone probably brought that in for crack money. Why was that so cheap? Someone's walking in there like they're like tweaking out because they're going through withdrawals. So like, yo man, I got a PS4 Pro. What will you give me? I'll give you $50. All right. Oh, I haven't moved an ounce of it. Hit 3. What is it at right now? Oh shit. Oh man, it's I can't believe it hit 3. It actually went over 3. Oh yeah, I haven't touched my ADA. I've been beyond dive, just something beyond diamond hands. I'm that. So yeah, like, unless you get like a Jeffrey Tucker deal, I strongly suggest not investing in the previous generation consoles at all. I mean, it just, there's no reason. There's no fucking reason. There would be more of an argument going like from the 7th gen to 8th gen because there wasn't the breadth of backwards compatibilities. You remember Microsoft did it? It wasn't until 2015 sometime that they started introducing, or maybe even 2016. I could be wrong about that. But you needed a 360 before that to play a lot of the games. Even after they introduced backward, it's not like you just popped the game in and it was backwards compatible, because they ran on the PowerPC architecture back in the 360 with the Xbox One. They basically had to a degree, write an emulator almost that they had to tweak the emulator for each game to make sure it ran properly. But with the 8th gen to 9th gen, because the architecture is identical, mostly, that it's really just like you upgraded a PC. You know what I mean? It was 2015 when they announced. All right, John. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was... so you had more of an incentive. It's like, look, there's class at the time. You wanted to play Halo 3. You had to play it on the... Well, no, there was the Master Chief Collection. Never mind. But... God damn it. Most of the games that were on the 360 before they had backwards compatibility, you had to play on the goddamn 360. Whereas now, going over to the PS5, most of the games fucking work. No, I never got the Wii U, dude. I'm so behind on shit I got to review. I got to review that little computer, which I'm going to do next. Then I still got to review. I have a Pixel 5a. I'm waiting to see if there's an update that drops for this, though, because I'm not just the only person. A lot of people are having issues with, like, the camera. It's like, oh, it's too hot, so it shuts down. The camera, not the phone, but the camera shuts down. Waiting to see if they pump through a firmware update. Because at this point, if they don't, I mean, it puts me in a rock and a hard place, because if it's just a firmware update that they just have to update it, and then it works fine, and I come out and say the phone's not good, and then the phone is great because they fixed it, I don't know. But I never got a Wii U, though. Eventually. Eventually, I will get a Wii U. That Freedom phone is such a fucking joke, though. I can't believe they have the balls. The absolute balls. To sell. They're just selling bullshit. They're selling a lie. They're literally saying, hey, we know there's dumb people out there that were naive enough to believe this. So here's a phone that we'll just name it the Freedom Phone, just put a skin on Android, and boom, there you go. It's crazy, man. What did I buy recently? I don't even remember what the hell I bought recently. I know I bought a Wii, which I made a video on. What else did I buy that I'm going to do a video on? A couple other things. You'll see stuff slowly trickling out. Well, yeah, they're buying in the whole thing that people, you know, the whole narrative. They're selling a narrative right now is exactly what it fucking is. They're selling a fucking narrative. I just don't understand. Well, here's the thing. They really think that here's some random kid who got rich off of investing in Bitcoin. Cool. He has my best interest at heart. He's not obviously grifting to try to sell me a piece of shit. Here is a Chinese-made phone with reskinned Android that isn't Google certified. That's the kicker. That has its own app store that allow for, like, how do you know if those apps, like, that it is a recipe for disaster? But if you're stupid enough to buy it, we should watch a Computer Chronicles again. Found one called How to Build a Computer. I think it might have found Gabe's twin. Okay. Shout out to Super Game Station Support Local Stores. Okay. How to Build a Computer. Did we watch that already? 1993? How to Build a Computer. 1993. Yeah, we watched that already. Pentium PCs. Let me see the Computer Chronicles. Let me find an interest. Computer Chronicles. Oh my God. They have Y2K. Buying a new computer. Let me see. Let me pick one here. Pentium PCs, laptops. Do we watch laptops? Let's watch laptops. 1989. Yeah, Angel. Just ignore her, man. And you have other large influencing rejects on the internet that like to push troll channels because they have sensitive feelings. Wonder who I'm talking about. Anyway. And I answered you because I know you've been here for a while. Anyway. So, laptops or Y2K? Which one should I do? Let's see. Laptops, Y2K, 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 laptops. I think it's going to be Y2K that wins. Okay. Well, we could, or how about we fucking do, well, depending on time, we'll do both. I'm going to stream a little bit later this evening. Yeah, I had a feeling because Y2K was so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let me shrink the screen. This was considered a futuristic and edgy intro with the dial-up. But you know, I don't want it to make it seem like I'm talking down the computer because I love seeing this shit. It's a part of history, but you know, just weird how times have changed. Take out those PDAs, Stuart.
This week on the Computer Chronicles, the Y2K.
Man, look at that thick with a C monitor behind him. Probably weighs as much as my fucking car.
Problem. We'll show you how to check your computer's CMOS and BIOS for possible year 2000 glitches. We'll look at some software that examines your applications and files to make sure
they're How about a marathon of? Yeah, we could do that one day. Not tonight, obviously, but
they're Y2K compliant. We'll talk to Microsoft.
This alone with how much I'm going to stop will probably keep me on for at least another hour.
Microsoft about some reported Y2K problems with Windows, and we'll search the web for good and bad.
Look at that old-fashioned web, man. Imagine the web still looked like that now. Like, imagine you had to use that kind of website on your phone.
Information about what you should do to deal with Y2K. Plus, we'll look at the mainframe side of the problem. Can you count on power, water, money, and safety?
Oh, that story on Kotaku tomorrow is going to be so delicious.
Air travel on January
the audio is just low, bro. I could turn it up a little bit.
Books on tape without the tape. It's all coming up next on the Computer Chronicles.
There we go. Fixed it.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by
kind of
PeopleSoft,
still low.
A global supplier of enterprise application software for business, education, and government. PeopleSoft. We work in your world. By TechWeb for up-to-the-minute technology news.
That's the most you're going to get out of the because it's an older video.
Television Associates, bridging the worlds of computers and video with DVD authoring and MPEG encoding services.
Guarantee if we look, bet you none. This is what before the .com bubble bursted. All these companies are probably just. You count, man.
Hi, and welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee. Y2K. We've been hearing about this computer problem for a long time now.
The computer problem that hit with a resounding wet fart. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Whoa! That's it. I thought like nuclear bombs were going to go off and power plants were going to melt down and oh, nothing happened.
Question is, how serious is it? And what, if anything, can you do about it? If you don't think this is a serious problem, let me show you Exhibit A. There is a rather large global company called Shell Oil, and you would think they have the computer resources to deal with the Y2K problem. Let me show you the credit card that Shell Oil recently sent me. It says right here, as you can see, valid till the year 1000. Whoops. Well, if Shell Oil can't figure out how to solve this problem,
Oh my goodness. It's over.
my guess is there are other serious problems lurking out there come January 1, 2000. On this program, we're going to focus primarily on how the Y2K problem can affect your personal computer. And there are several levels of the problem. We'll deal with all of them. Hardware problems in the form of the CMOS chips and the BIOS in your computer's motherboard, your operating...
You guys know what started Y2K, right? Because memory was so expensive when computer technology first came out, they literally would go, they would cut back on the date to a 2-digit year because it saved money with memory. And no one thought about, hey, what happens when we, because the year two, like imagine like in 1960, if you're, developing a computer for a nuke, you are like year 2000. It might as well have been the year 2250, like the year 2000. I remember like even in like 1998, like thinking about the year two, like really, like is the year 2000 actually going to happen? Like, is the world going to end in the year 2000? So no one thought about it. And then everyone's like, what the hell are computers going to do? Could this be really bad? We don't fucking know. We have no idea. We're about to cross a threshold we've never crossed before. And then nothing happened.
system, your software applications, and your files. And we'll start with the hardware issues. And
remember going into like Best Buy and all the everything would have Y2K compliant.
Mike, I guess that's your territory here. You've pulled a motherboard out of a PC here, and why don't you explain to us what the hardware side of the problem is?
Well, basically your date originates from your CMOS chip inside your motherboard.
Okay, so that's a CMOS chip, and that's being run by this battery, and that always is remembering what the date is.
Yes, and that is where your 19 is embedded that you've heard so much about that causes the Y2K.
Got it, and then what about the BIOS?
All right, the BIOS at boot up time calls the CMOS for its date and time.
Okay, so the BIOS chip is over here.
Correct.
It says, hey, what's the date? And if this guy gives it the wrong information, everything goes to hell after that.
Correct. Passes it straight to the operating system. Therefore, you'll have an invalid day when you reboot January 1st.
Why is this guy talking so quiet?
Now, given it's a hardware problem, can we still fix it and deal with it in software?
Yes. What we do is actually, with PC Fix 2000, we're
God, PC Fix 2000.
intercepting that date exchange between the CMOS and BIOS, correcting and adjusting any dates that need to be there, writing them back to the chips and handshaking it off.
All right, so I can load some software on my computer that will check and say, hey, CMOS, if you're wrong, I'm going to fix it before you spread that date to the rest of my computer.
Correct.
How do I know if I have a problem? Can I use your software to test it and see if my CMOS is delivering the wrong date?
Yes, we have a package called Easy Check 2000 that will actually check all sorts of dates.
All right, can we do that? I mean, I guess it will.
Anorexic Peyton Manning. It's not anorexic. I don't.
We're going to simulate New
It's
Year's
just-
Eve 1999 and 2000.
Right. What we'll do
God, I remember I was pissed drunk on New Year's Eve, 1999.
is simulate a boot process in your PC. And what we'll do is take a look at the CMOS clock and the BIOS clock and what it's reading as we speak. And we'll simulate the boot by setting it to 12/31/99, just
All
a
right.
few seconds before
So
midnight.
it's New Year's Eve, December 31st. That ball is coming down in Times Square. And what will your computer do?
Okay. So here we go. We
All
set
right, a couple
the date,
seconds to go.
and we're-
2, 1. Whoops.
And our CMOS clock went to 1900.
Now the BIOS somehow still said 2000.
Correct. On most post-96 machines, the BIOS is correcting for the 1900 in the CMOS.
But we could still have a problem if an application is directly
Holy
accessing
shit.
the
Correct.
CMOS
There are
chip.
applications that do that, and there's Windows NT operating system does that as well.
So my computer, or many apps on my computer, are now going to think it's 1900, which is wrong. So things will get screwed up. How do I fix it with the software?
Actually, at each boot up, we will execute PC Fix at boot up time, apply our algorithm, retrieve the date,
And now the CMOS says 2000.
and correct.
All right, so you've got a
Oh,
kind of memory
shit.
resident piece of software that's constantly going in there correcting that problem.
No, it does not remain.
It is
in memory.
pouring
It doesn't
out
take
by
any
me right now. That's what I was checking.
conflict with any software.
But somehow it just permanently fixes that problem?
It does its job at boot up time, then goes away.
Yeah. Let me ask this.
So your product, so Stuart Chaffee is basically saying in a professional way, so your product is snake oil piece of shit.
Now, why should I care that my CMOS clock is wrong? Is that really going to have any consequences to me as I'm doing my work on my PC?
Future alert, no.
See, other than the fact.
Yeah, I'm safe. It's just pouring, man. It's not windy or anything. The lights aren't flickering as I say. Watch.
Any calendar software or date and time sensitive software, you could very well boot up January 1st, 2000, and every appointment you've ever had.
You're 100 years late for that appointment.
100 years late. And it could cause accounting software packages.
Sure. Now, if I have a
Afraid for my basement, though.
Bought it within the past year or two, could it still have a CMOS problem?
It could very well. The CMOS technology still in today's motherboards are using the old Motorola technology that has the 19 embedded.
Still could be old chips, and they could still have that problem, even though it's a new PC.
This PC here is a 6-month old.
Wow, still has the problem. Last question. You've got something up on your website, a free download that will check the CMOS problem?
Right. That's the EasyCheck 2000 product, and it will check all your hardware dates.
Mike, thank you very much.
EasyCheck 2000.
Well, let's move to another part of the Y2K problem, your software applications and your files.
Some people's homes got destroyed down there, man. I knew. It's crazy.
What can you do to make sure they are Y2K compliant? And I guess your answer is buy Norton 2000, right?
That's right.
What does Norton 2000 actually do? How do I deal with the applications in the files?
A lot of companies made a lot of money off this bullshit, though. Like probably billions upon billions of dollars were given for bullshit. Isn't that incredible? You can, hey, heck, Rich, piss drunk and listening to Prince, party like 2 farts and a snort. Sure. Eventually. Whoa! Maybe my Stream Deck isn't fucking Y2K compliant. You can buy a Y2K Best Buy sticker on eBay. There's also a new turn-off computer by 119 because we now have Y238 problem coming. What the fuck is that about? The watch that actually causes something. Joe Rogan took the magic horse medicine that cures COVID. I don't know if you covered it. Yes, I did. Barack America! We talked about that earlier on in the stream.
Run a scan on your system, and we look at all the commercial off-the-shelf applications, and then we actually look at the data that's within your files, like your spreadsheets.
All right, so we take a look at the screen here. Again, I can run a big scan, then run my applications, run my files.
Right.
And let's go to the applications first. What kind of report do I get?
Right, this is the first report you see.
God.
And it breaks it down into 3 categories.
Really bad problems, maybe a problem, seems to be okay. Huh?
Exactly. And then you can drill down on each of them.
So if I say, it says real serious problems and...
severity 5s and severity 3s in here. 5 means it's not
really
going to be able to handle dates beyond 1999.
So that's the worst, the severity 5.
Worst.
Severity 3 might be screwed up a little bit.
Severity 3 sometimes have workarounds.
Yeah. Well, this is like big deal. CC Mail, Excel, plus PowerPoint, Windows.
Exactly.
Right? So I have some problems here. What do I do next now that I know I have those problems?
Well, if you drill down further, we explain the issue.
Come on. Yeah, I think I have seen that. I have seen Joe Rogan. We took the mat, so I can't wait until Y3K. We'll all be dead. Have you seen the video on the Y2K problem by LGR? I believe I have, and it was pretty damn good. I'm pretty damn sure I've seen that. Sarah Jessica Parker is way more attractive than she is.
Provide a direct link to the vendor's website.
And they don't even look the same at all.
Because sometimes they'll have a patch or an upgrade, something like that. And then also sometimes there's a workaround, and if so, we'll provide that suggestion.
All right, so you're not going to fix this for me, but you're going to tell me where to go to get it fixed.
We're going to fix it for you, but we're going to tell you that you're fucked, though.
Download this patch, and that will solve the problem.
Exactly.
All right, now what do I do about particular files? All right, I know Excel's no good, but does that mean all my spreadsheets are screwed up?
No.
Piss
No,
again.
Not necessarily. Again, it depends on the compliancy of the application
and
itself.
how I entered the date.
And how you entered the date.
All right, so what is this?
So here is the scan that we run on the data. Again, you see the severities.
All right, so you're looking at the actual files now, not the applications anymore, and you're telling me, hey, I've got 2 severity 5 spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets.
God, February 5th, 1999, man, I was still in high school. I didn't graduate until June of that year. Jesus.
Exactly. Yeah, and if this is something that you're doing financial planning for your future, you want those.
So what do I do?
Right.
Am I just stuck?
No. Norton 2000 will give you exact information on what the problem is. It will tell you exactly what cell.
Oh, so it's saying there's specific cells that have date information that are causing the problem.
Exactly. And
all right, now what do I do?
Well, you go in there And also for Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah, what are you going to sell me to save me?
We provide a real nice visual way of seeing where the problems are. So I'll show you an example of that. Here we go.
Okay, so you color code the bad cells.
Exactly, and annotate. So the yellows are a 3, and the pinks are a 4, and the reds are a 5.
So the reds are the severity 5 ones, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
Now I've got a lot of bad cells. Obviously, they're all date things.
You're right.
Now, why would some dates be red and some would be yellow? They're all dates.
Well, because this one, as you see, it's listed as a 2-digit year, but in this case, it's actually.
I was senior in high school, and I was going to graduate that June. God, it was like a different lifetime.
It's been read correctly. It's being read as 1988.
But it might be included in a formula somewhere else.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this one is wrong, and then this one in the red is relating back to that cell right there. That's
yeah.
Wrong.
Now, what do I do now? I mean, am I just stuck to just say don't use the spreadsheet, or can I go in and correct that problem?
You can go in, change it into a 4-digit date, fix the formula if there is a formula.
Okay, so the problem might have been mine. I was careless like
Exactly.
everybody else, and I used a 2-digit year. Just make it a 4-digit year, and that could solve
We've all
the
been
problem.
programmed to enter 4-digit years.
Yeah. In the work you do with Norton 2000, are there obvious certain applications that are the suspect ones that I should look out for?
Back when IBM was still making laptops, those ThinkPads, people still miss those files. I mean, I know Lenovo still makes quote-unquote ThinkPads, but it's not IBM.
In general, anything that relies on dates, so calendar code.
Well, Stuart Chaffee's style, I actually like his interviewing style, but he will not be shy in a professional way to be like, yeah, you're taking too long. Let's move on to the next part of this. Like, we get it.
Any financial applications.
Anything that draws a conclusion based on a date,
Exactly.
not a word processing document, obviously.
Exactly.
All right, Norton 2000.
Thank
you. Well, while we're focusing on the PC side of the Y2K problem, the big fear that most people have is not about their personal computers, but about the massive mainframe systems that run the power companies, the banks, the airlines, and most of our basic services. Here's a look at what...
I'm going to piss. I'll be right back again. But yeah, this is what everyone was really freaking out. They thought like we were all going to die, and like the financial system was going to collapse. Nuclear power plants were going to melt down. Nukes were going to be shot off, and Vladimir Putin's nipples were going to suffocate us all. That's what I'll leave on that one. Can a man pee?
What some experts have...
I don't think we will all be dead, but I do think we'll be in a bad place. The human race has always been bad because the internet... Yeah, I'm not saying we'll be dead, but anyway, yeah. Maybe the Earth will implode by that point. We'll see.
to say about what will happen with those
Vladimir Putin nipple suffocation coming soon.
come January 1.
On a bright spring day in San Francisco, the millennium bug is probably not foremost in people's thoughts, but hidden in...
Yes, it was. They made such a freak out about this on the news. Everyone was freaking out about this shit.
Services, from water and power to streetlights and buses, are embedded chips and software that might depend on the date and time to operate. That is what worries cities like San Francisco, which began its Y2K probe 4 years ago.
With the embedded systems, we're looking at fire trucks. You know, it's a whole different look at the world, and the valves on the water system. If there's an embedded system in a valve and it fails, what will probably happen? If the valve is open, it will probably stay open. If it's closed, it will probably stay closed. Is that a bad failure? Is that something we can fix over time? Also, virtually all valves have manual overrides, but has anybody used them in the last 20 years?
Susceptible chips can show up in unlikely places. For example, the city's cable car system, over 100 years old, runs from electric generators that are controlled by computer. Light rail vehicles are almost
Keep in mind, as far as I remember, none of this shit happened.
completely automated, and even buses and fire trucks have embedded microprocessors.
If there was anything that happened, it was so minuscule that no one gave a shit. They are very serious.
We are finding that with heavy equipment, there are other issues with maintenance cycles. And there are pre-built maintenance cycles for things, for example, like water pumps and the ladders that go up and the engine. And some of those systems on some fire trucks, if they're not serviced, don't work.
The Wells Fargo Bank approached Y2K in a different way, by building a parallel banking system and then advancing the dates. So a fictitious customer can make a deposit or transfer funds on December 30th, 1999, and a fictitious teller could see those funds appear on January 3rd.
We've created a miniature bank of our own. Actually, if it was, you could pick up this environment and probably sell it to some other banking institution because it handles a couple 100,000 customer accounts. These aren't real accounts, these are test accounts that we have out there. And we process a full day's activities from printing out statements to sorting checks.
Wells Fargo's bank within a...
Kind of missing what... I mean, I get what he's saying. Is it really? The Battlestar Galactica reboot was inspired by the Y2K thing?
Bank has everything, from PC banking to receipt printers to ATMs. But what happens at midnight, December 31st? So far, so good.
The tests themselves, we're in contact with them. They're working pretty good. We have until June of this year to complete everything, so a number of them are getting into place now and being set up. And as an industry as a whole, I think we are in very good shape. People have taken us very seriously, especially in the financial services.
Y2K became Y2J, Le Champion, the man who beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't remember that.
Industry. And the work
but I just remember all the fucking freakouts about this shit. Dennis, are you the Dennis?
Withdraw cash from
Because, you know, there's only one person named Dennis on the planet who super chatted me. Are you the Dennis?
your ATM in January. Will you be able to spend it, say, for an airplane ticket? Airports face the known problem of finding and fixing embedded controllers.
You could tell the woman who is doing this voiceover, even though it's 1999 at this point and they've been out of fashion for a while, she has shoulder pads. This woman has shoulder pads confirmed. Dude, YouTube today drove me insane. YouTube, I don't know what the hell happened with YouTube today, but yeah, I know. People tell me all the time, Rich, I am subscribed, I'm a member, and I hit the fucking bell, and I still don't get notifications for your streams. I don't know what else, like, maybe I'm going to have a loudspeaker and everyone's home. Guys, I'm streaming now. That'd be kind of creepy. It won't happen, but...
with an additional complication.
But this woman, like I said, definitely has shoulder pads. You could just hear it in her
They will
voice.
be counting on every other airport to do the same.
It's a real problem because we're not the only airport in the country. A lot of airport manufactured products are duplicated at other facilities, not necessarily airports, but other manufacturing facilities or public transportation hubs and that sort of thing. It's almost unbelievable the amount of
volume's good.
that we are going through from some of the major components that make up the facility to some of the very minor things that you would never think of unless you went through an exercise like an inventory.
The task is daunting, to find every chip and program that might have a date function and rewrite or replace it.
And it didn't need to be done. And you've also been unsub for no reason before. Isn't that wonderful? That happens to me. Like, channels I watch regularly, it's like, I'll note, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not subbed to them anymore. And channels I never watch, I could watch one video by it, and I see every video they upload. I've watched like one video in the past 6 months from them. I'll see every video they upload, and I'll see all their shorts. Somehow I got my girlfriend hooked on your streams. Can I get a shout out for Marissa? Shout out Marissa to spread your cheeks on the soundboard. I don't have a spread your cheeks on here right now. I'm going to get that back again. I guess that's very popular. But I'll give her...
You're getting Grandpa excited. Oh, yeah.
Real professional men of Y2K. They are. These are all real professional men. These are.
Get immediate attention.
We have to look at everything imaginable, I think, but you have to have set priorities, and the priority is the safety security aspect. So we have to maintain a secure airport.
Y2J, aka Chris Jericho, was a WWEF wrestler whose gimmick was originally built around the Y2. Yeah, no, because I know Chris Jericho, but he built it around the Y2J. That's interesting.
We have to provide safety for the traveler.
I know Chris Jericho.
Embedded controllers are lurking everywhere, even in services that appear to be low tech. San Francisco's water supply comes by aqueduct.
Growing up 15, that's very true. Life was much, and the thing that's funny is that no one thought life was simple back then. Like, everyone thought we were so futuristic. We're going into the year 2000. Like, the year 2000 seemed like we were literally like, once we hit 2000, it was going to be like we stepped into the future. But looking back 21 or 22 years later, if you go by over 22 years later, yeah, man, it was a much simpler time. You didn't feel it back then, though. You thought you were in a very futuristic time.
Nevada mountains, using gravity as its main engine. But pumps, chemical systems, and valves are operated by programmable logic controllers, or PLCs. All of the chips have been inventoried, but what if one malfunctions?
Actually, there's very little high tech. When this system was designed, it was a brilliant engineering feat in the early part of the century. And most of that infrastructure is still in place, where we have upgraded a number of, like you mentioned, valves, the devices that move the valves, the monitoring equipment. Valves are either open or closed, and these types.
Yeah, quite a lot of ways we went downhill. Social media is, you know, it's weird to say because I guess you could say YouTube is part of social media and it's become my living, and I'm grateful for it. But at the same time, it's like social media has been the bane of our existence because we look at what it's doing to humanity.
Types of valves.
But once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't put it back, so now we have to learn to adapt to it.
Don't close automatically if there's an electronic failure or power failure. So we're very comfortable that the water will continue to flow by gravity, even if there are Y2K issues.
And I really do, I think that people are going to be surprised that when December 31st at midnight comes around, the world is not going to come to an end.
That's what everyone thought. He is right. He was 100% right. But everyone thought that, though.
Airplanes are going to continue to fly. The lights aren't going to go out in the terminals. The lights aren't going to go out on the freeways. And I don't think it's going to be some of the massive failures that has been portrayed in the media recently.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Sarah O'Brien.
He's right, though, man. I mean, people thought like it was going to turn it, like the world was just going to and then I think what amped it up too is that you had a lot of the doomsdayers who thought year 2000, once we hit that, the world's going to end and all that shit. So you had the doomsday prophets and Y2K, and it's like, oh, that has to be a sign. So that kind of amplified it too. So it wasn't like just like if Y2K, but you had all these people predicting year 2000's coming. The world's going to end. Oh, look, now we have the Y2K thing. Just so happens to be 2000. So that like really built up the hype and fear. I can't watch Conan O'Brien. I would get not only would the stream get flagged, like that in itself wouldn't be a big deal. I would probably get a strike. No way. 8 more years until the Terminator's Tesla bots. Yeah, probably Tesla that's going to make them. Showing the clock. I love how they're trying to like downplay the fear, but at the same time with the interlude, they're showing December 1999. Like Are you really trying to downplay it?
Well, the one issue we haven't dealt with yet in the
Not saying the Mayans said that, but everyone was hyping up the year 2000 was going to be the end of the world.
Y2K
Then they said 2012, and it just kept
problem is,
going.
what about your computer's operating system?
Dude, I remember when I was working as a night manager at the gym. There was this dude that came in, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up every night about how 2012 was it. He tried to convince everyone that the world was ending in 2012.
System. Of course, in most cases, that means is Windows Y2K compliant. So let's find out. Don, when we did that little scan before with the lady showing us Norton 2000, up popped up Windows 98 as a severity 3 problem. People have heard about this. What are the issues in Windows 98?
Well, actually, there's a patch for Windows 98 that makes it fully compliant, so all those issues are resolved.
Okay. I mean, what are the issues?
Yeah, there are some minor issues that we did find. Let me give you a couple of examples. Okay. One of them is in what we call a dialer. If you go into the phone dialer,
you wouldn't think that would be a date-sensitive.
Relatively obscure.
Phone dialer. How many people are using that on? Even back then, I think I've made like one call through a computer just because I was a kid and I wanted to try it.
Sure, but a lot of things generate logs that are date stamped.
I'm going to generate a log.
And that's where that comes from. So you could use a phone dialer, say, to call your relatives, and then look in that log. And what would happen is, in the year
Let's look in that log.
2000, beyond 2000, instead of saying the call took place January 1st of 2001, say January 1st of C1.
Oh, that's helpful.
So it's a display issue. Is there a chance for data loss? None whatsoever.
All right, so that's a little baby problem, and you can fix that. What's another Win98 problem?
Well, in Internet Explorer, there's this feature called the wallet. And if you actually go into content,
We can store credit card information. That
exactly.
Kind of thing.
Exactly.
That's just where I'm. Internet Explorer. Let me store my credit card information. That's your first mistake, especially back then. Why is Dad building a bunker and burning the computer as an effigy for the internet gods? You mean back then? Yeah, dude.
What it's used for is to upload your information to an internet site that's
I see the problem coming. Expiration dates.
You got it.
All right.
So let's say you add a new credit card and you go to the credit card wizard, and you enter in the card and the expiration date.
Right.
Put the expiration date in a 00.
So if it expires in 2000.
It wouldn't work. It'll
Doesn't
come back
work.
with an error. Put 2000, it works just fine.
Okay, so you can't enter a 2-digit answer in there.
Exactly.
Now, is that something you simply have to know, or is there a patch to fix
There is a
that one,
patch.
too?
The Windows 98 Y2K patch fixes all of these issues.
So, I mean, these are relatively little things. You're saying, in general, Win95, Win98, not a big problem.
Yeah.
God, people are still using 95 and 99? I guess so.
The issues are all minor, very obscure. Most users wouldn't run into them.
Let's get to the application side. Again, when we did that scan, we saw all your stuff coming up, Excel and Access and et cetera, et cetera. What are you doing about, Norton showed us we have the problem, and then we have to go to Microsoft to fix the problem. What do you do?
Yeah, I didn't know it had a feature like that. Like, who? I don't know. I just didn't know there was enough of e-commerce back then. I was only 17 at the time, about to turn 18. I turned 18 July 15th. But I didn't know there was enough e-commerce that people were doing that. Now I get it because of Amazon and shit like that. But that was kind of a forward. I'll give them that was a fairly forward-thinking feature for the time.
What are you guys doing to help us solve some of the application problems?
Okay, well, the first thing we're doing, of course, we've got the website, which has 1,800 products now that we've tested and verified, as well as the toll-free numbers. But beyond that, what we've done is we've come up with a product called the Product Analyzer. And what this will do is it'll scan your hard drive, it'll verify what Microsoft files you have against the database, report back the compliance status, and then any more information.
So this is your version of scanning for all the Microsoft applications to identify with them. All right, so we go through and we find we have
Look at that scan just buzzing by.
some problems.
Look at that scan just, man, that would have taken a fucking year. It would have been 2001 by the time that shit was done.
Come up with some kind of cool wizards in the Microsoft style to deal with them. Go through those.
Sure. You're talking about our Excel wizard specifically.
Yeah.
Within Excel, there are 3 wizards we've created. The Date Watch wizard,
I'm a wizard.
Date Fix wizard, and Date Migration
All right,
wizard.
so one at a time. What does a Date Watch wizard do?
It watches how users enter in dates, and then it tells them if they're being ambiguous, or it'll convert those dates for them.
Show me what you mean.
Sure, let's just create a new spreadsheet.
Okay,
And we'll
so
just
sorry
type in 10/01/00.
So if I use a 2-digit field,
It's
well,
going
I
to
was
change
right,
it
it said 2000.
It's going to change it to a 4-digit field for
Oh,
you.
so even if I only do 2, it automatically makes a 4. So there's no problem.
Exactly. And then, of course, when it does that, you can look at that and say, oh, that really should be nice.
That simplicity just pretty much summed up the problem of Y2K right there. That's it. Like, all right, just make it the other 2 fucking numbers. Like, no power plants melted down. No, like, nothing happened.
1900, depending on how you're using your spreadsheet.
So it'll automatically switch ambiguous dates.
Exactly.
All right, so what's the other one? Date fix, you said?
The date fix wizard, what that does is it'll actually take a spreadsheet and fix those dates within it.
All right, so what are we looking at here? Now, this is an unfixed.
An unfixed spreadsheet. So what you've got is our birth dates and people's names and just a chart applied to those.
All right, so some guy here was born in 1909. You think that's correct?
We'll see. Well, maybe it's 2009 and he's not born yet.
All right.
Oh, man, that futuristic year, 2009. Way out there. Oh, wait, we're how many years? We're 12 years past that? God, time fucking flies.
That's a problem. All right, so you have a graphic representation of what would be right now a non-compliant issue,
Correct.
right? A problem.
Correct.
And what does date fix do?
What it's going to do is going to go through, it's going to convert those 2-digit dates to 4-digit, and then report back what it did so that you can inspect and make sure that it did the right thing. So we'll just run that.
So auto-fix all
Oh,
there?
shit, it's skyrocketing.
The spreadsheet that says this is what it did. So in
Okay.
case I want to go back and say that was wrong.
And it was 2009, okay. I mean,
And
it's obviously a mock-up. but
Exactly, a mock-up.
It would have made that mistake, typical Y2K problem.
Yeah, that faraway year, 2009, man.
So you can actually go through your spreadsheets either on a case-by-case basis like this or against an entire directory and actually apply those.
And quickly, date migration wizard, what does that do?
She's taking earlier versions of data from Excel and into Excel 98 and doing exactly
All right, so if
these
an old
things.
spreadsheet had the problem, you can correct it as
Exactly.
you move it over.
Exactly.
So you guys are providing the fixes.
We are.
The worst thing to happen to computers in the year 2000 was Windows ME. You get an applause, sir. Maybe. And spread your sheet and just go to town.
Whoa!
You get one too.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
All right, well, as always, the internet.
Fun fact, my dad still actually does work on a Windows ME computer from time to time. He still has it in the garage.
It is a great source of information about Y2K, and in some cases, it's a source of misinformation. Well, to help us sort all that out, we've asked Mike Elgin, editor of Windows Magazine, to join us and to show us some of the good and the bad stuff on the web. I guess it's important to think of the internet as a resource because we're talking about stuff that's changing every day, isn't it? You might not want to go buy a book about Y2K issues.
Right. People are discovering a lot and will continue to learn new things all year. So it's a good idea to keep going back to the best websites.
Now, you guys, Win Magazine, you have
Porn.
a very good website on Y2K. Why don't you show us that first? It's really a kind of portal, if you will, to Y2K problems.
That Folgers Crystals decaf coffee does not come back up well.
Y2K Watch.
Okay.
And it's primarily a bunch of links, which we think are the best links for people concerned about the PC aspect of the Y2K problem, both on the hardware and software side.
Right, so what kind of links, for example? Where would you send us?
Well, first of all, we've got our Y2K discussion forum. This is where people who are knowledgeable can get together
trade
with people who
information
are
about
looking
what
for information.
problems they found, et cetera.
Exactly. It's a discussion area. This is brand new, and this will get more and more rich information in
Okay.
there as we go on. Another thing that I emphasize, I want everybody to read this article. It's by Fred Langa. It's the single best article about finding and fixing Y2K problems
Okay.
with a personal computer, with you and your own computer.
Yeah, look at all those non-yellowed computers and CRTs growing up. Yeah, now those all that bromine, I believe it's in them, made them turn nice and yellow.
And this is different from
But Sephiroth, that's such a good point. But my dad still has a computer, and he says, you know what? It's not that bad, Windows ME. He still has it. He does schematics on the Pentium 2 that I used in high school. And he still does schematics and shit on there to this day, and it still works.
a IT administrator who needs to worry about the whole
All right,
company.
so lots of resources at your website. And how do I get there? What's the URL?
It's winmag.com.
Okay.
And then just click on the Y2K link.
All right. Now, the government has some websites up there, too, right, to theoretically help us out?
That's right. They're providing a lot of information, and actually some
Yeah, thank God we didn't need their help.
of them have been based on President Clinton's initiative to solve the Y2K problem. And so this is the president.
My initiative to solve the Y2K problems. I'm gonna stick a cigar and forgot her fucking name's pussy. Monica Lewinsky. I should have been worrying about Y2K, but I was sticking a cigar in her vagina when Hillary wasn't looking.
Residential Y2K conversion site. And there's a lot of information. These links go into all kinds of private and
Sort of
public.
business-oriented kind of stuff.
That's right,
basically.
especially for business owners. People worried
People
about
doing business with the government. and so
That's
on.
right, legal issues.
Okay.
Some of the heavier stuff.
How about from the consumer point of view?
The government has a consumer-based Y2K site that's full of lots of information, and will answer just about any question that that people have.
Yeah, those are much simpler times when the biggest scandal was a president fucking around on his wife. Those were the good old days.
From different
Okay.
departments.
Should I be
of the
worried about
government.
Social Security? Should I be worried about this and that?
Exactly, insurance and on and on.
All right, now there's another site I know you really like. Another.
I miss the good old wholesome days when when my president was blowing loads on his what was she, an intern? On his intern's dress. Man, the good old days.
Independent site. It was Y2000, is it?
Yes, it's Peter DeJager's.
I did not blow my load on that woman's dress. Oh, they still sell new floppy disks. You could even buy like tapes and shit growing up. You could buy tapes and shit off of whatchamacallit, man? Amazon. Brand new cassette tapes.
Site. Now, Peter was the original Y2K guy who was out there telling everybody.
right.
And this site's been up for years. And it's
Peter, you
built this
animal,
huge
tell us.
database of information, and he's attracted all the experts. So this is an
God, look at those websites. They were so. It was such a. And that was considered so bleeding edge, but you look at that, it's just like, what is this? Could you imagine going to a website now and it looking like this? And but you know, that's how tech is.
2000.com.
That's a good URL.
Now, what about all these people who are saying the world's going to come to an end, the planes won't fly, the power won't work, the ATMs won't work? There are sites up there that are just spreading all kinds of horror stories. I mean, where do you go if that's sort of your perspective on this?
Well, there's a good site that I want to show you here. Now, this is a relatively mild site called the Cassandra Project.
Okay.
Now, this is for
Why is
practical
someone going back to all of
information on
my
how to
old
survive any sort of power
tweets?
outages and so on.
Name
What
who they
happens
are.
if the ATM doesn't work, right?
Exactly.
The water stops
Make
flowing.
sure you have water, make sure you have heat, and so on. There's also some constructive information about community projects to make sure the neighborhood is working
So this
together
is
on
CassandraProject.org.
That's right. Now there's some, of course, some other sites that are
There's some pretty
doomsday.
wild things out
right,
there,
they
yeah.
get a gun and some water, move to Montana, and hide in a hole somewhere. I think that view, by the way, is unnecessary. I don't think that's.
But this is sort of general preparation just in case bad things happen.
Exactly.
Now, you said, Mike, I want to ask you, I always put you on the spot because you spend all your time with this stuff. What is your view? I mean, I know people
It's
who say,
weird.
I'm going to the hills
Anyway.
with a gun. Sure. Other people saying, I'm getting on a...
JFK aimed high for Mount Clinton, went for an intern. JFK, bigger peen. Oh, yeah, he fucked Marilyn Monroe, right?
plane January 1 doesn't bother me. What do you think?
Well, I think there are likely going to be some problems. There are going to be smaller problems.
And there really wasn't. There really wasn't anything notable anyway.
Hospitals are going to have to deal with some specific issues. Planes are not going to fly, drop out of the sky. This is not going to happen. There may be delays. There may be some unpredictable things, but overall, it's not the end of the world.
No. Well, we hear about the embedded chip problem, and hey, yeah, you can fix all this old COBOL language, but what about all the hardware stuff that's embedded in all these things?
Well, that's really the biggest problem because you just can't run a Microsoft patch to fix these things. It's all embedded in hardware, and there's some unpredictability. Some of these chips are
Yeah, and that was their fear. Some of the stuff was ancient. You know what I mean?
decades old, so nobody really knows what's going to happen. But overall, all these problems are fixable. Everything is solvable.
Are you going to buy some extra food and get some extra cash?
I'm going to make sure. I live in New York. I'm going to make sure I have heat. But I don't think there'll be anything beyond maybe a couple of days of power outages and phone down.
And none of that happened. Even that was over. That was overkill.
Mike, thanks a lot. All right, that's our look at Y2K. I'll be back in just
All
a
these
moment.
guys have interesting faces. Why, thank you, Beggy Beg. Are you including me in that? But what's funny is we had that fuck up with the power, and I think it was in 2003, where like a big chunk of the East Coast went out. It had nothing to do with Y2K. Remember that?
Before I get to my pick of the week, I did want to mention one other Y2K program, which is very good, but which we didn't have time to cover during the show. This is it. It's called IntelliFix 2000. It's a terrific all-in-one solution that solves hardware and software problems. If you're running a business on your PC and Y2K is really important to you, you might want to check out IntelliFix 2000. Cost is only $79. Now for my pick of the...
For Y2K, my parents made me and my brothers go to church because they all thought the rapture was going to happen at midnight. Dude, there were so many people I know like that. We brought our Dreamcast and played Soul Calibur till 1 a.m. Really? What a weird memory that must be, man. A crazy one. That's a cool one, though. Shit. But a lot of people, dude, everyone.
Uses of the internet is for listening to audio. Sites like broadcast.com, where you can listen to radio stations, and sites like MP3, where you can listen to and download CD quality music. But one
Then that sounds laughable again now, but at the time that was pretty amazing. I think I remember going to a couple radio stations and getting them through dial-up, and it was not as bad as you think it would have been.
One of the fastest growing uses of audio in general is books on tape. And there is a website and an audio player designed specifically for spoken word audio. This is the player right here. It's called the Audible. It's a solid state audio player. You can listen to this.
Hi, Mr. Rich. Really enjoying watching these chronicles. It is history. It is. And it's amazing to see how much tech has changed. Now, it's funny. I think I saw, maybe it was LGR, Lazy Game Reviews, that did a review of that.
Using headphones that come with it. You can use the included stereo cassette adapter if you want to listen in your car radio. To download an audiobook, you log
Audible, Amazon owns that now.
on to the audible.com website. You can select from thousands of available books.
But it is history, Respergo.
Cost for the books is about half the price you would pay for the cassette version of the same book on tape. I've downloaded the John Grisham novel Testament, so let me plug this in and you can hear what it sounds like.
I had 3 families, 3 ex-wives.
Now, you can auto...
What? It actually sounds pretty crappy, but again, you're talking about 1999 and it's solid state, so they probably, what does that thing have, like 32 megabytes of memory in there? So they had to compress the shit out of it. But this was Audible before Amazon owned Audible.
Automate the download process by scheduling feeds in the middle of the night if you'd like, and if the book is longer than the memory capacity of the player, the software automatically updates the player and replaces sections you've listened to with new sections. Now, the player itself lets you skip forward or backward a chapter or to another book for that matter. It also lets you insert bookmarks so you can easily go back to a certain favorite place in the book.
That's such a 90s looking device too. Early 2000s. You couldn't, that's like reeks of, oh God, at Audible doing the same kind of commercials. Yeah, but this is before Amazon bought Audible.
The Audible comes with a simple,
I mean, you got to think, that's a pretty amazing idea at the time.
Docking station like this, which plugs into your serial port. This also acts as...
Serial port before. I mean, USB was definitely a thing then, a huge thing then, but it's still, some things were serial, still to a smaller degree. USB was more taking over at this point, but still had products like this out there.
Battery charger. The cost for the player is about $200. You can get it for $99 if you agree to buy a minimum number of books online. That's it for this edition of the Chronicles. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back here again next week with the latest in hardware, software, and the internet. Hope we'll see you here then.
Does kind of look like a walkie-talkie. That was a good call, Jason.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long fucking day, and it's that time. So I had a good time tonight. I'm glad I actually streamed. I was debating on not streaming because I was kind of fried, but regular chat, super chat, and 2 new members tonight. I appreciate all of you guys. I will be back tomorrow. Yes, I remember Firewire. Everyone thought Firewire was the future, and it didn't happen. I'm actually going to come on here tomorrow with a guest. That's going to be Joker Productions. He's going to talk about the whole situation regarding Austin Evans and talking about the PS5 and why he thinks it's not as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. So I want to hear his take. So see you guys tomorrow with more content. Hopefully YouTube isn't a complete disaster tomorrow and runs properly. And have a good one. Got some interesting content coming up. Have a good night, guys.